Hello, everyone. This is the Easy Allies podcast. I'm your moderator, Kyle Bossman, and joining us this week is Ben Moore.
Hey there.
Ian Hink.
Hi.
Brandon Jones.
Hello.
Today, we are going to do part 2 of our fall preview, but first we need goals. Ben, what's your goal this week?
My goal this week is to say the name of my favorite animal and not have you guys pick up that it is my favorite animal. To say it in such a way
that's
that
what
you
that
don't
was?
know. Yeah.
Cool.
I don't think you know my favorite animal, so
The
this will
name,
work.
like the name is in like turtle, or the name is in like Charlie.
The name, it like is in hyena. Like I drop
Okay,
hyena,
okay,
and it's not hyena.
Okay.
But if I were to drop it in
Well,
a
that
sentence-
narrows it
If
down.
it is
Yeah.
hyena, though, you
Hyena.
did it in an amazing way. Just like that.
Yeah.
Ian, what is your goal this week?
Okay, so one of my chief joys on these podcasts is folding this vote paper ad nauseum the entire time.
I do that too.
Bets.
So
Those
my
are bets.
what did I say? Vote?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So my goal is to not fold it anymore.
I don't
than
think you
this.
could, though. I don't think you could.
Oh, I could.
Listeners, this thing is folded
It's folded.
tight.
It's pushing against you as we speak.
Has been
It's
felled.
forcing your fingers apart.
Yeah.
Brandon Jones, what's your goal this week?
To not have a headache by the end.
Do you have one right now?
I do.
Oh, okay. Some ibuprofen.
I took something.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just going to let it run its course. And usually that happens. I've started some podcasts in the past with a headache, but I'm specifically making it a goal this time.
I want
So-
to help you.
The bodily
Oh, thanks.
sacrifice.
I don't know
Brandon
how.
Jones.
My goal is kind of embarrassing this week. I guess I've had this weird tendency in the past few podcasts of mixing up Jim Carrey and Drew Carrey.
Yeah.
So this week, I really want to just keep it very clear. My goal this week is just not to mix up the two Carreys.
Which
Good
do you
luck.
prefer?
I definitely prefer Drew,
Okay.
but I always call him Jim. And so, like, this
Right.
week, my goal is really just to keep them separate. They're two different men. They're very different.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
because Drew Carey is playing Terrence McKenna. He's gone all crazy about like I don't exist and all this. He's,
Wait, what?
He's acting all crazy now.
Wait, what is that a thing?
He's a painter too.
See, this is just when you do bits on top of reality, it becomes very confusing.
Kyle's
for
being
me.
serious right now, okay?
Oh no, I
So,
know.
yeah, quit-
I'm being
quit
very
messing
serious
him up.
too.
We need to step into corrections. Let's begin corrections music, please. Javier Bardem is set to play Frankenstein's monster in the Universal Dark Universe. No one is playing Wolfman yet. No one announced. But I mean, is any of that really
films?
happening? Yeah. Yeah.
I thought they canned that whole enterprise.
Yeah, not officially yet.
We'll see.
Apparently, Mummy made a lot of money overseas. Like, just too big to fail. Battlefield 4's protagonist, that name is Daniel Recker. And also Titanfall 2's protagonist is Jack Cooper. So we had corrections on the game we played.
Ooh.
Look, I don't cross-reference the games.
Yeah.
If people just send me in a game, I'm just going to read it off.
Also, like side action, how many games main characters is named Jack Cooper?
Jack Cooper. There's
More than one.
Yeah.
There has to be.
Huber called it ahead of time. Before we did it, he was like, get ready for lots of Jameses and Jacks and
Jacks and
Jimmies.
Johns.
And,
Yeah.
I'm
Like
getting sick
Tom,
of
it's
it
like a
in
Tom
JRPGs.
Cruise character.
I said that Walker cannot be a last name or first name ever for the history for the rest of video games. We've done it. 2017, we're finished.
Like, Jack is a lazy name.
Jack is the
That's a lazy
laziest name.
I feel
Literally
bad
all of
for
Tom Cruise's
Jacks.
names are Jack or John.
Oh, if you're a Jack
All
in
of
real
them.
life, that's a cool name. If
yeah.
Sure,
right.
If you're a writer going, my character's name is Jack. Like,
Because he's the every
do it
man.
again. Do
Jack's
it again.
got a
Jack
dark past.
Reacher. Yeah.
Brad did nominate Dark Souls in the first Hall of Greats induction. Totally forgot about that. A lot of commenters wanted me to know that Fear is definitely well regarded.
I like Fear.
Yeah.
One a lot.
We are not sponsored by Mountain Dew. Just want to make that very clear. We had 3 cans of Mountain Dew, labels pointing
I felt like I
forward.
missed something.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of the logos were. I was like, wow, there's clearly some trend here.
Yeah.
Can I just say, I feel
I
like
was
if
Baby
we,
Bear in that equation, I guess.
if we were sponsored by Mountain Dew, we would have a lot of fun with it.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Listen.
And
You'd
we have
know.
a lot more stuff.
You will
You
know.
will know. You will know.
We
We'll
are
make it loud and
sponsored by
clear.
things.
If there's a huge quality jump,
Yeah.
suddenly we've been sponsored by Mountain Dew.
I'd like to change my goal.
Yeah, become sponsored by Mountain Dew.
And also, Toki Tori is a Metroidvania game without combat, without enemies. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And
I've
apparently,
I've always kind of looked at that game pretty quizzically, but
Me too.
I've played Toki Tori 1,
Uh-huh.
or like Toki Tori Plus, I guess it's kind of called.
Yeah.
Good game. And apparently Toki Tori 2 is amazing, and it's a Metroidvania in the sense that you like gain skills over the course of the game. But the crazy thing is you have every skill from the beginning of the game. The game just hasn't told you how to do it.
Yeah.
So if you already know them, you can just do them all.
Like The Witness. Like
Yeah.
when we were talking about The Witness, somebody talked about Toki Tori, and then I forgot about it. I
Right.
really want to play this Toki Tori
Toki
game.
Tori is
There's
good.
a Toki Tori game on the 3DS Virtual Console.
Okay.
It's like at the very
Yeah.
end of the page, you got to scroll through
Yeah.
or search. Of
But
course.
look at that little stupid like bird. I don't want to be that bird.
Yeah, it's just this little bird
Yeah.
that
It's a
waddles
cute
around
game.
like
It's
a
a
penguin.
cute game.
It's a Metroidvania.
Also, I think there are enemies.
Apparently not in 2. Apparently
There's not
in 2.
combat, but there are
Yeah.
like obstacles and like creatures that'll hurt you if
What-
you touch
Oh,
them.
okay.
I don't
Alright.
think you
What
fight
platform
them.
is Toki Tori?
Many.
It's on pretty much
Okay.
everything. It's
Yeah.
on like phones. It's on computers.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Let's do it. End corrections music, please. We did just end corrections music, but I did get one comment that I want to read. I don't normally like to attach names to the corrections because I think it kind of incentivizes like, oh, I want to be a star with my correction. This one in particular, though, I have to give credit to this comment. I really like this a lot. This comes to us from Darth Will Smith. I was listening in my car and pulled over to make this statement.
Yes.
Love that. Thank you for being
Thank you for
safe.
pulling over.
Yeah. Thank
Was
you.
this
Is
Also-
it anger?
This is an anger.
Oh my
Thank you for your
gosh.
passion. Less a correction and more of an aggressive clarification.
Begin aggressive clarification music, please.
The Clone Wars was created and executive produced by George Lucas. Most all of the story overtures on that show came directly from GL. This includes Order 66 mind control chips. Not only this, but many TCW episodes and arcs are some of the most top shelf Star Wars content that ever was and ever will be. And I resent Huber's dismissal of it as a lesser avenue of Star Wars canon. I suggest you all watch TCW Season 6, Episodes 1 through 4, and do a roundtable discussion on them and put this Order 66 subplot to rest once and for all. Period.
Can I just say, if you're gonna do an angry comment, do it like that.
That's
Yeah.
a good
That hits
comment.
home. That was
Yeah.
a
It
home
didn't
run of a
offend anyone,
comment.
and
Yeah.
it got
It was,
its
Yeah.
point
but it was
across.
very
Yeah.
clearly, utterly disgusting.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
you felt every
You know,
word
just
of
like,
that.
okay, all right.
Yeah.
You just pull over and just
But it's like-
park. Okay, guys. Okay.
Like,
I
listen, you
imagine,
bumbling
like-
idiot.
I
I
imagine-
know.
I
And he
imagine
does.
them like taking a second too, just like
Absolutely. Okay. Just like the car careening off the road.
There's the first
Hands
draft
on the
that was
wheel.
not nice.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
deleted. Okay. I need to
You
deconstruct
bastard.
this.
I think it sounds like I'm making fun of him, but I actually really do respect
love
it.
it
I mean,
a
that's
lot.
clearly
Oh, yeah.
passionate.
That's good
yeah.
stuff.
That's great.
Yeah.
So I think we got to get Huber to watch those 4 episodes.
yeah.
And the thing, this almost annoys me. He's going to love it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Sometimes
going to love
Huber just decides,
He just decides.
Yeah.
and then that's what it is.
We'll
Yeah.
try.
I was way
I love
biased
you,
when it
Hubert.
came to Clone Wars. I feel bad for that show. I was just not in the right mood to absorb that. I was burnt on the prequels.
Right.
And
We all were.
the Gendy Tartakovsky series was so incredible.
that was
That
like
he
more
did.
like
He
a
did these
miniseries,
short.
right?
Yeah, I think it was about a feature film length when he was all done with it. And those were so amazing. And so their episodes were so different from each other that when they were like, oh, now we're okay, those didn't happen. Now we're doing this. I was like, you're retconning that thing I
Yeah.
loved so much
When
with
they
this new weird CG
decanonized
thing.
it.
Yeah.
And
That-
like
that was weird.
that was my attitude, which was unwarranted.
Yeah.
I really should go back, especially considering they are canon now. I mean,
Well, they kicked off with that movie, and it has the hut. He's just like, I'm just a little hut, right? Like that is.
I don't know. I don't.
Yeah. I'm just a little hut.
There's a hut that talks
I
like
don't
that?
like your Jedi. Yeah.
That's a good sound.
Okay. Oh, you're right. I got another comment coming.
Hey, Obi-Wan.
He was very instrumental in the Hut lineage. You know.
Yeah.
What was
all right.
that character from Adventure Time, like Grandma Pancakes or whatever? Cupcakes?
elephant?
Yeah.
Yeah, very close.
It sounds like that. You're just doing that voice. Sounds like.
Yeah. I mean,
like
that's what they did in that movie.
Yeah.
Same voice actor.
It's good stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get to news. Before we do our fall preview, I wanted to cover this. I think this is a pretty big headline, but it's not a huge discussion to have. Andrew House,
Right.
president and CEO of Sony Interactive Entertainment, has decided to step down. He will be out of the company by the end of this year, and he's being replaced by a person named John Codera. Yeah,
John is like a nickname, middle name.
right, because
Yeah.
there was an
can't
actual
remember
middle
the
name
first
in,
name,
in
but
the
yeah.
parentheses. Yeah, it was a Japanese name.
First name, yeah.
That's what's going on.
I liked Andrew House.
Yeah.
yeah, I like
That's,
Andrew House.
that's,
I wonder
that's
why.
what I wanted to say.
I wonder if he's like moving on to something else or just retiring, or if there was like, I didn't get the impression there was anything like weird going on.
Yeah, it was not clear, but yeah.
You know how you have like the big gaming suits who try to appear like casual and lighthearted, but it feels a little forced. I don't feel like Andrew House ever had that problem. Like it never felt like he was trying too hard.
Right.
There was a degree of intelligence and professionalism and just enough casualness about him to not make him insufferable. I thought he was a good presence.
Yeah.
It's like where Sean Layden is now versus
Where Sean
Yeah,
Layden
it took Sean a couple of
Sean
events to
Layden.
get
The first
cozy.
E3, he was a little tight.
Yeah.
But he's great now.
The peak house for me was speaking Japanese to Hideo Kojima announcing the partnership with Death Stranding.
And that grin. That
And
grin the whole time.
Yeah, just relishing every syllable.
My favorite
Like,
house.
that's right. I got Kojima. That's right. I'm speaking Japanese.
Yeah.
That's right. We booked him. Like,
What a moment. Yeah.
yeah.
And you could tell he was genuinely happy about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Much respect.
touching.
Yeah.
A little
Best
touching.
wishes,
Just
sir.
a little bit.
Yeah,
touched.
John Codera has been working on network services. That's like been his job, and so like there's something to extrapolate there. But I don't want to do it too much because it's executives. It's executives talk.
Like
We got
four like
Pop-Tarts.
snotty jokes came through my mind about PSN has
jokes.
bad.
This is also super fresh. This is today, right? Like
Yeah,
this
it's
morning.
like-
This
yeah,
came
it's
out. So, yeah.
fresh. It's fresh. Yep.
Andrew House was like a lion of Sony.
House 20 points for
Oh,
Gryffindor.
wait a minute.
Yeah, what does that
No,
mean?
Wait a minute. It just happened.
No. That was subterfuge. That was not it. It's not lying.
I think that was it.
You think Ben would just do it right off the bat like that?
That's my vote on the table.
Eagle-eared listeners. Eagle-eared doesn't make any sense.
Eagles have good ears. Eagles have
Do
good
they?
ears.
Okay,
Yeah,
eagle-eared,
eyes, better eyes, probably.
eagle-eared
no.
listeners will pick up that there was an animal set earlier, actually.
Ooh.
Two.
My God.
Oh wow. So
And he's gonna keep them coming too.
Yeah, that's very fun. Ben, that's very, very fun. I like that.
What were they?
You'll never know.
Unless you
You're right.
listen.
I'll never watch this again.
Okay. So we
got me.
we had to break our. We do fall previews regularly. We do like summer previews. We do
I
we do
was
these
gonna
things
say,
all the
mostly
time.
in the fall.
In the spring, we do spring previews too. We had to break our fall preview into 2 episodes this year because this year has been insane, but this fall especially, it's just been too big. And these episodes turn out super long. We're gonna try to keep it brief. We're going to go through all of the huge games of the next 2 months and maybe a couple on December 1st. But there's just so much to talk about. I love talking about these games before they come out. I love talking about what we expect from them, where we think they are in the scheme of gaming. I love these episodes. They're so fun to do. We do Pop-Tarts. We do Toaster Strudels. Pop-Tarts are games that we think the audience should maybe pay a little more attention to. A personal game. A game that we believe is going to be pretty darn good and that maybe isn't getting the attention it deserves. And we do Toaster Strudels. Games that maybe are getting a little too much attention. Maybe everyone could pump the brakes on these games. They're not going to be awful. Look,
P2Bs.
we're not saying they're going to be awful, but maybe
Yeah.
pump the brake. Let me don't.
It was hard. It was really hard for me to pick one
Because
I'm excited about all these
excellent
games.
months.
You know,
Yeah.
like-
Those bees.
And I
don't
also
know
just
enough.
think for the sake of discussion that you want to say something about something that you haven't said a million times before.
Yeah.
Not you don't want to be. I don't know. You don't want to pick something just for the sake of it, but you want to have a good discussion. You want to make it a podcast. You want to make it entertaining.
You want to have an argument. Yeah.
Absolutely. You want to have an argument.
We have a new segment on top of this one called Shall We Move On? And so that you get 2 Shall We Move Ons. This is a new option.
Oh, we get 2. Okay.
You get 2 of these. If we're touching upon a game that you simply don't want to talk about, you say, shall we move on? And then the other 2 panelists either say, we shall or we shan't. If one person says we shan't, we are not moving on. We're going to talk about that game.
Oh,
but
boy.
if the other 2 say we shall, we just move on to the next game.
And we get 2 each.
And you get 2 each.
Okay, not total.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here we go. We're talking about October. This game came out today. Counts. October 3rd, Forza Motorsport 7.
Cool.
Review by Daniel Bloodworth incoming.
Ooh, all right. That came out today.
I don't want to cut that one.
Well,
Sounds like you're cutting that one.
sounds like it's done.
Wait, I think that'd be a fun one to cut. I mean, the game just looks, it's just like a beautiful game. You get like a bunch of footage of beautiful games.
Those Bloodworth notes though are so good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
here's
Blood cuts the damn thing for
Blood
you.
cuts the thing for you, but he gives you a lot of footage,
Yep,
which
yep,
is good.
Yep.
Here's the fighting games and car games
Okay.
are awesome to cut and also terrible to cut because most of it you can kind of just throw in cars, until someone's like the drive shift differential steering blah blah blah, like some really specific thing, and you're like, oh man, where's that? If it's Bloodworth, he's told you exactly where it is.
Yeah.
If it's not Bloodworth, you do fine. I'll cut it if you
You're
want.
missing a great opportunity
here's how I
to just
feel-
lay into Ben. I'll back you up.
Hey, wait a minute. We've talked about this before. We've had very careful conversations. I'm not as good at the details
right,
on the notes,
but you're
as
not
Bloodworth.
as bad as Hubert.
Yeah,
Yeah.
All right.
that's where I want to be.
Yeah.
We're getting way too far into that. We got to talk about this video game.
Nah, Hubert's fine too.
I actually have a
He's
little bit of a
fine,
personal
too.
take with Forza 7.
Oh, give me your take.
Yeah,
Here we
so
go.
I very, very, very casually enjoy the Forza games. I get a little bit more into the Horizon games, but I tend to buy the Forza games when they come out, and I enjoy them. And I think it's easy, with Forza because they are so regular to kind of get into the roll your eyes, it's another one of these.
Yes.
And I don't have anything profound to say about Forza Motorsport 7, but this was my experience. I downloaded the demo. I played the demo. I did the 3 races in the demo. I was so impressed once again at how it felt, how good it looked, like just driving in the rain, going through the tracks, messing with the assist, seeing how subtly it changed everything. I was like, yeah, Forza's still crushing it. Like, this still feels great. Like, I know I don't understand it on a level that people who actually know about racing and cars do, but from my perspective, the amount of detail that they put in and, like, every cockpit view, every track, like, all the details, I immediately bought it afterward. You know how you normally see a pre-order screen and you're like, really? Like, just let me play the demo, let me try it, and then make up my mind. Let me think about it. When I saw that pre-order screen, I was ready. I hit the button and I did it.
You pre-ordered this game.
I did.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Did you get a bonus?
Well, I did a very dumb Ben Moore thing that I shouldn't tell you, but I bought the Ultimate Edition to play it early and then did not play it early. That's pretty pathetic.
The
That's
Ben
pretty
Moore
pathetic.
curse.
Right, because you could have already been playing it before today, right?
Yeah, I could have been.
yeah.
I bought it early and then did not take advantage of that because I ran out of time. That's like platypus pathetic.
You have
Some problems.
you just have a lot of hope.
I do. Thank you for
You know,
phrasing.
you
I
have
do
a
have a lot of
hope in your heart.
Well, I have a lot of
And
hope
you're
for
bad
my
at managing money.
yeah, managing. Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
but it comes from a good place.
Yeah, a hopeful place.
It comes from a hopeful
You're like,
place.
I hope I'll have time to play Forza early. I
Right,
love it.
right,
I support it.
Right. Yeah.
I enable it.
yeah.
Because my goal is for us to move through these quickly. We're moving on to the next game. Jones, I know you had Forza thoughts. You're ready to.
I'll put him aside.
We had to talk. We had to
The
talk about this
rain,
stuff.
it looks so good.
Yeah.
What did you have thoughts? What do you got?
I don't.
Oh, okay, great. So, October 10th, we're looking at Middle-earth Shadow of War. And, Jones, you probably can't talk about this because you're reviewing it right now.
Yes.
That's my toaster strudel.
That's my toaster strudel.
High five me.
And to listeners, this isn't fair. I mean, I don't want
It's
to.
not
I don't want to
fair.
break anybody's embargo.
Yeah.
Jones smiled and nodded after hearing it was the toaster strudel. These two. Well, was that coded? Is that link?
Full
No.
disclosure.
Oh, okay.
Brandon has told me things about Shadow of War, but not like in a critical way. He's just like, these things happen to me. It wasn't like
Right.
I
And
would
you
have
feel
this
differently about
opinion-
those than maybe Jones
We're in
might feel
dangerous
about those
territory.
things.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Why is it your toaster strudel, you two?
The first one was terrible.
It wasn't terrible.
I don't actually agree with that. I
Yeah.
really liked the first one, which
Okay.
is why this one is my toaster strudel.
okay. Why?
In a way, because when I think about Shadow of Mordor, you had obvious comparisons to the Batman, the Arkham games. You had obvious comparisons to Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
But around it, you had this Lord of the Rings game that was very different in terms of structure, in terms of systems that it was playing with,
Yeah.
in terms of story, how it was presenting it, in terms of like this open world that it was giving you. And I felt like there was a lot of ambition there, specifically with the Nemesis system. And I think that ambition is what made it interesting.
Yeah.
Whereas with Shadow of War, despite what they're saying, when I watch footage, and there's a lot of footage out there, when I watch this game being played, it's like, this just feels like more Shadow of Mordor. I'm not getting that
Mordor?
same sense. Yeah, Mordor.
It's more of the game of the year, though.
It's more of the game of the year,
our
but
game of
it
the
just
year.
it's hard to get excited about. I think especially that is true here in 2017, where so many games I feel like have gone above and beyond or have surprised me, that it feels like a sequel that belongs in another year almost to me. I'm not saying it's not going to be great. I like the first game enough that I will definitely pay money for it, definitely play it, but
Ian, why is this your toaster strudel? Why should people pump the brakes on this one?
I said it was terrible. That was
Yeah.
harsh.
Yeah.
That was an outburst. But yeah, I mean, I like the Nemesis system. I think it looks really cool. I mean, it was really cool and will be again. the combat in this is just not for me. I don't find it engaging or interesting in any way. It's like more simplistic for me than Batman or Assassin's Creed, and those don't do it for me either. You just kind of just mash square and you're unstoppable in a lot of situations, especially if you get the right like stuff.
But it's more than just fighting the game.
Right.
It's
and
sneaking around.
But it's just like, it didn't grab me. It didn't engage me. And the comedy that I've seen, like the voice acting and the comedy in the trailers for the second one, just it's
Can
not
you tell me about the
landing for
comedy?
me.
So all I remember is I think it was Bruce.
There's that Bruce one, and then there's
83?
like another one voiced by,
I thought Bruce was pretty funny.
I can't remember
Kumail
who the other one-
Nanjiani?
Yeah, or somebody. And I'm just like it just takes me out of it.
All right.
I don't feel like it's part of this world, you know? Like, I want to play a fantasy game and be in the fantasy. I don't want to think, oh, that's Kumail Nanjiani,
Okay.
you know?
Jones, you can't speak to the quality of the game, but here's the thing. I saw a billboard for this game that was just the blue Spectre, and it said Shadow of War and the date it comes out.
It said play the game.
October 10th.
Yeah.
And I thought, they are setting this up to fail. Do you think this game will sell well?
In October, it's going to be hard. I think it will not compete. I mean, I don't think this game will sell as well as a Super Mario Odyssey, but possibly more than Evil Within 2. I would think so.
Okay, that's an interesting range. I might take Evil Within 2 over it though.
Okay.
Well, and it comes out like 3 days before Evil Within 2?
Yeah,
And it's just like,
Evil Within 2?
Well, let's get there. Let's do. Okay, October 13th, Friday the 13th, Evil Within 2.
That's my Pop-Tart.
that's my Pop-Tart.
This was almost my Pop-Tart.
Wow,
That's my Pop-Tart.
I did
We're
not
just-
expect Pop-Tarts on this.
Yeah.
Evil Within 2,
We are
really?
popping like
Oh, I had a
puffins.
very. Oh, yeah.
All right, Jones, unleash, because you're not under embargo on any of this. What do you got?
I think just out of everything on that list, I'm because to me the Pop-Tart toaster strudel thing is not a sure thing. It's just
Right.
vibes. It's just and I think with a lot of these games, specifically my toaster strudel, I'm kind of waiting for that other shoe to drop. It just feels like something ain't right. It's not really indicative of like where I think it's going, the trajectory, and like. I think there are things they could screw up about Evil Within 2. None of those things will detract from my enjoyment of that game. Like judging by what I have played and my experience with the first game, I think I know what that second game is going to be, and I would like to play that video game. You know?
Great, yeah.
It just seems like they're making improvements based on things that they felt were needed in the sequel, like directions they wanted to take it in, and not necessarily like fixing things that were bad or broken, but just kind of like changing things up. Like when the controls change in a sequel, that's very eye-opening for me. Like, oh, you really went back to the drawing board here.
Right.
And really figured like, yeah, maybe that might not work for our combat system, or we're adding in a couple buttons that like, we
Did
gotta
they
move
change
those
the
buttons
controls?
around.
What'd they change?
Oh.
How did the controls change?
I don't remember. I just remember that it turned Blood around because he.
'cause he's
the last
just
time he
been
checked out
playing
the
it.
demo because he just
Yeah.
finished one or is getting close to finishing
I
one.
like that. That's a really good
And,
observation, yeah.
Ian, why is it your Pop-Tart?
I mean, everything Brandon said, and just, yeah, the vibes of it. I have yet to finish, but still want to finish the first one. I actually kind of hope to try to finish it before this comes out, but I don't know how realistic that is.
It's not.
Yeah.
This
I've
is
got-
really soon.
I've got
October
10 days,
13th.
yeah. I mean, I'm like a good way into the game, I think. I don't know. But, yeah, I just love the way that the first one feels and looked and sounded, and
It's
I mean,
unique,
it
right?
has that classic. I mean, Resident Evil Revelations 2 has this for me too, where it's just like it feels cozy somehow, even though it's a horror game.
Yeah.
Where you like feel right playing it. I don't know. I think it's just a really well done presentation. I think that game is very well made. Yeah.
I think the Evil Within at Easy Allies has been repped well, but I think in general, Evil Within did not get the credit that it deserves, because I think a lot of people, and these criticisms got to me a little bit, what I respect about Evil Within is it is a game that never gets too comfortable with itself, where it could have just had the beginning like early horror vibes the whole thing, and a lot of games do that. A lot of games figure out what they're good at and they just go the whole way, and that's not a bad thing to do. But Evil Within, like every time I went into a new chapter, I didn't know what to expect, and sometimes it worked for me and sometimes it didn't, but man, they were really going for it, and I think that ambition is exciting. I think that's what made classic Resident Evil so good, is it had those crazy left turns, and boy am I excited for Evil Within 2 to see where that ambition takes them.
Because what they've shown so far is they're doing equally crazy things with this one.
Yes.
Yeah, they've shown incredible variety with this one, which is really exciting.
And in some of like the dreamy parts of it, I like this kind of like strange kind of amorphous connection between Evil Within 1 and 2, that like when you get into the dream world and like maybe start bumping into some characters that were in the first one, the way they kind of address, you know, where he's like, oh, it's you, you know, I remember you from before. And it's like, had we met before? I don't know. And it's like, wow, what is this game saying? Like, is this continuous? Is that another version of that character? Or is that kind of like a Half-Life 2, you know, Twin Peaks kind of thing, where it's like some weird being that's kind of representing itself as a person, you know? And there's just a lot of really spooky stuff there. And, you know, with... you know, all the just fresh off of it and going into this, and I've been thinking about Freddy Krueger a lot lately, and just kind of like
you do.
well, there's one thing I saw it, and I like that they specifically have the poster up for Nightmare on Elm Street 5, because there are definite comparisons you can draw between Pennywise and Freddy Krueger, just kind of like playing with your food before you eat it, you know, like that I always kind of wonder in these instances, and I would get into moments of, you know, Evil Within where I would like get out of a trap and be like, did I just get through by the skin of my teeth, or did this nightmare kind of want me to almost get away and think that I have power over it now, but I really don't. And just kind of that fine line where, like, I've seen films that are like that, where monsters or evil things, again, kind of play with their food, and I'm just kind of just get on with it. And so I think it's a real fine line, like how far you can push me as a viewer or a player before I just kind of, all right, I'm just so ready to move past this part of the game. And Evil Within, I thought, was just perfectly balanced. Like, I never felt stuck. I was never like really frustrated with any particular part. And so
There were stakes the whole time too.
yeah, and I was never really like chilled playing Evil Within. Like, it was spooky, and there were definitely some jump scares.
Right.
But like just the demo I played at very loud PAX and just a quick little 40-minute thing in a dark booth was creepy. You know, just there was a lot more of a sense of kind of a freedom to explore, and in that the kind of tension of like scaring something or triggering a bad guy to come follow you is less like, well, I'm in a hallway, so it's hard to dodge that thing, and more like, could I have avoided that? Or like, was that bad on my part? Do I need to be fighting these things? Oh, I just dumped 6 shotgun rounds into that. Oh no, am I going to need those later?
Sean, I'm very excited for you to play this game.
Yeah.
I'm excited for you to play this.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I hope all time.
Oh, on the same day, we have another Friday the 13th game. WWE 2K18.
Can we move on? I'm just kidding.
No, try it.
Move on. No.
We shall.
We shan't.
Oh, we shan't.
But
He said it.
I did say this, but I feel bad. I know next to nothing about wrestling, but being around Easy Allies, they have made me want to be into wrestling so
Huber's
bad.
not here, you don't have to pretend.
No, I'm not pretending. This is not pretending. This is not pretending. They have legitimately made it seem awesome, and so me being dismissive of wrestling feels wrong. But I can't. You
can't speak to the game specifically.
Yeah, I'm just saying that I think there's something there that seems really cool, and I would feel bad for dismissing it because I don't feel like I have the evidence
default
to do
it
so.
rises.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm excited
It's weird
for.
to me.
Yeah.
It's weird to me that wrestling video games are about the fantasy of this character. Like, it's about the fantasy of wrestling. They play by the rules of the fantasy of wrestling, as
Right.
opposed to like these people are acrobats actually not trying to hurt each other. And the game's never about that. It's never about your career as a performer. It's your career as like, let's pretend all of this is real. It's
But
so weird.
that would
that's
be
the
a
game.
sick game.
That's the
where
game
you're
I'd
like,
rather play,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a game where you're trying to not hurt each other, and then
Yeah.
you have like
Yeah,
conversations
yeah.
about it, like, man, you were a little rough back there.
Yeah.
Whoa, that'd be cool. Yeah, like
Yeah.
a fighting
Really cool.
game where the point is to make
Yeah.
it look convincing, but
Right.
like, whoa.
On October 17th,
Like Driver, but you're a stunt person? Like,
Yeah.
Sorry. Continue.
that happened. Or is that the joke?
A driver, but you're a stunt person, not a stunt driver. So a fighting game where you're actually doing a fighting sequence.
Right.
Okay.
Where you gotta like choreograph
yeah.
it a certain way.
But
or,
it's
like
like
only
you're
hurt
like-
the person so much. You know,
Yeah, or you're like con artists and you're trying to like pull a fast one
pretty
over on some
fun.
like rich marks or something.
Yeah. Like an Ocean's 11 game.
Yeah.
October 17th, Etrian Odyssey 5 Beyond the Myth.
I'm so happy this made the list.
It made the list. And it almost didn't, Ben. We're way over time
Come
already.
on,
We're way over
come
time
on.
already.
No, this is legitimately
is
good.
this?
Okay,
I
no,
get,
what
I
is
get
this?
that.
What is this?
I get that other allies are familiar with it, but
Yeah.
Etrian Odyssey 5, despite whatever you may think, absolutely deserves your attention. I've actually played it. I've played the demo, so I can speak to this. It is a game that I think people hear about, and because they hear these things, they're like, oh, well, I super care about story and RPGs, so this seems like a mechanics-focused dungeon crawl. It's not for me. And it's like, yeah, but all right, you don't play every Mario game for this story. Like, just give it a chance. Maybe there's something there that you're really into. And Etrian Odyssey is doing things that a lot of other games aren't doing, where you have so much control over the customization of your party, and they're adding really crazy new mechanics, union skills that add a whole nother layer of thought and depth. You're going through, it's like, in a lot of ways, they've made so many Dungeons and Dragons games, but to me, Etrian Odyssey is kind of like a really good Dungeons and Dragons game to me, because you feel like an adventurer as you're exploring. You have to make your own map, and you're going along. You'll encounter things all the time where it's like, hey man, this seems like a good opportunity. Do you want to swim in this water? And you're like, yeah, maybe I should swim in this water. But it's just a yes or no option, and you have kind of that like text adventure, tabletop role-playing thing of like, I have to go with my gut, and if you fail, it's really bad, but if you take a chance, it's really good. And you have really intense battles where you can't just sleep your way through basic fights. You've got to really think about everything that you're doing. You have to decide, like, you'll get really deep into a labyrinth. You'll be like, should I keep going or should I head back to town? And it's great natural tension. You have these huge beasts called FOEs that are chasing you all around, and you can try to fight them, but you'll likely get crushed. And so you actually, as you're moving across these squares, have this thing chase you. It's absolutely terrifying. Etrian Odyssey is great. It's great. This new one is great. It's certifiably great. People should play it. They keep dismissing it, and there's no good reason for it.
3DS?
That
was good.
Man.
That was
Sorry,
good.
I
think it is 3DS,
3DS,
right?
okay.
Sorry, guys. No more sleeping through fights in Etrian Odyssey 5. But falling as it does...
Kyle doesn't get that joke.
Yeah,
He
Kyle
wasn't
doesn't
here.
get that joke.
No, what was that?
That's a Daniel Bloodworth
That's a
quote
Daniel
from
Bloodworth
one of
quote.
his...
Sorry,
when he was talking
guys.
about Super Mario RPG. He's like, sorry, guys. No more
napping-
sleeping through turn-based
napping
fights.
during
great.
fights
No
or
more
something.
napping during
Yeah.
fights.
Sorry,
but falling
guys.
as it does 5 days after Evil Within 2 and 11 days before Odyssey, like,
Okay.
let's be real.
I'm not
It's
saying
the
you
eye
can't-
of the storm.
No,
I'm not
it's,
saying-
it's counter programming.
Yeah.
What other
right.
dungeon crawling RPGs are there?
I'm not
right,
saying,
all right.
listen, I understand October is a stag month. I'm getting it. I'm not saying you can't have your priorities. We'll
Yeah.
have our favorites. Pick your favorites. It's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
But you can't,
fine.
just because you pick something doesn't mean the other thing goes away. It doesn't
Yeah,
mean you
we
can't put it
should-
on the back
true.
burner.
Might be
That's what I
perfect
think.
during the holidays.
I think we shouldn't
Yeah.
roll our eyes at Etrian Odyssey.
You shouldn't roll your eyes.
You can have a
And
nice
the thing is,
sorbetto
there's
Yes.
the thing
between
is,
courses.
I just want people to give things a chance. There's a free demo that's
There's a
out
free
right
demo.
now.
Right
You don't
now.
have
Free
to
demo.
spend any money.
Yeah.
You can
Just
fight
play it.
FOEs
And you know
right
what's great
now.
is if you decide that you like it.
Is there a pre-order button?
No, there's not
Oh,
a pre-order
okay, all
button.
right.
No, not going down that route. You can carry your progress over from the demo.
Oh, great. I
That's-
actually-
That's
I
pretty
love
cool.
that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think there's a pre-order button.
Also on
don't
this
think there
day,
is.
more counter
There might be.
programming. Well, actually, I don't know if we can call this counter programming. It's very close to a near competitor. Gran Turismo Sport.
Shall
That's a
we
game.
move on? Shall we move on?
I don't know right away. We can say one or two sentences, but
I just
Jones,
don't
that's
know
not
anything
how we
about this
respond
game.
to
Oh,
that.
okay,
We
sorry.
shall.
Sure, we shall. Fine.
I just don't know anything. I just don't know anything about this.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
got
yeah.
it.
I don't
I don't
know.
have
got
personally
one.
anything to say.
I don't know
Yeah.
Rules
anything
are
about
rules.
this.
Rules are rules.
Yeah, saving time.
That could be really cool.
I had some
Could be
stuff
really
locked
cool.
and loaded for that, but yeah, rules
Nope,
are rules.
never gonna hear it.
Okay, another one on October 17th. Not a big deal, but I'm just personally excited
Huge
about
deal.
it. Jackbox Party Pack 4.
Yeah.
I love the Jackbox Party Pack games. I think they're very cool. They run really well. They just function, and they're one of the few video games that tries to be funny and succeeds in it, I think.
I love the Jackbox. I've been a lifelong fan,
Yes.
legitimately, of You Don't Know Jack, and yeah, these games are fantastic.
My parents wouldn't let me play You Don't Know Jack.
I played them with
Why?
my
Is
parents.
it
They're
nasty?
like
They're a little irreverent.
They're like it's too dirty.
Yeah.
You can't play. You're too
they're-
I
young.
like that attitude.
They're a hard PG-13.
Go to church.
There's again, I think five mini games. One of them is called Bracketeering, the deranged debate match where you place bets on stupid arguments.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's
Genius.
That's
really
perfect
good.
for us.
Oh, we're playing this.
That's like every day.
We're playing this. Yeah,
like
that is
every day.
every day we have that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really excited about that.
Pack of
Oh,
wolves.
Also on October 17th, big day, South Park: The Fractured But Whole.
I wish I had multiple Pop Tarts.
You can
Yeah,
only have
no,
one
I-
Pop Tart,
yeah,
but
I know.
yeah, I hear you.
Just pick different flavors. That's my raspberry Pop Tart.
No,
Yeah.
not fair.
This
That's my boysenberry.
this game.
They don't have boysenberry,
Every
Ian.
time I
Come
watch
on.
new footage of it, it makes me laugh out loud at my computer monitor.
Yeah.
That's all I want.
Oh, you're right. I just talked about a funny game that tries to be funny and is.
Yes.
Here we go.
Yes.
There's another one right there.
Yes.
Cutting the preview that Damiani did for this, I was like, yeah, wow, this is all right.
Got some wit.
Yeah.
Got some
He's
wit.
got some wit.
Lot
Like a
of
sly
scatological
fox.
jokes.
You got some wit.
But that's okay.
John, are you into this?
Yeah, because it not only repeats from the show,
see.
it's not like calling back to stuff like, here's the part where we do that bit. If you didn't see the episode, this is hilarious. But if you did see the episode, we're just echoing jokes we made months ago,
Right.
years ago. It's not that, it's a completely new setup that like feels like a new story, but it is kind of like playing on its importance. Like obviously, like they're putting on the air that this is an incredibly pivotal event in the world of South Park, but like next week they're going to forget this and move on.
Yeah.
So I just love that it's kind of both things at the same time. That you get this idea that, Matt and Trey are just goofing around constantly, and yet they've made so many improvements, not only to the first game, but like a lot of interesting things as far as 2D role-playing games are concerned.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff like an Octopath Traveler can learn from the systems that they put in there.
It's crazy.
It's a fascinating franchise.
It's like a better game than it needs to be.
Yeah.
You think it could actually kind of skate off of just its writing and just looking exactly like South Park looks like,
Right.
but they make it a good game on top
Yeah.
of that, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Bonus.
Yeah, that's a fun. Oh man, October 20th, Fire Emblem Warriors.
This was almost my toaster strudel.
It is my toaster strudel.
Ooh.
This is my toaster strudel. Yeah. Here's why I just think you can pump the brakes on this. It didn't look good last we saw it.
No.
Ooh, visually.
Performance-wise.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Basically, our theory is that the 3DS version is dragging it down. They had to design it so it could work on both. And so I think it's kind of running on the same engine that the Wii U had with Zelda.
But I've gained a lot of
Warriors.
respect for Omega Force recently, and I
Yeah.
think they've done some really good things. And I personally like Hyrule Warriors a lot. And what I always felt pre-release and then actually playing Hyrule Warriors is there was this energy to the game.
Yeah,
Where
I
it was
like Hyrule Warriors too. Yeah.
It was like we are celebrating Zelda. Look at all of the different ways we put in to celebrate this.
You nailed this, Ben.
And Fire Emblem Warriors, and the reason why it wasn't my toaster strudel is because I've seen them do it like pretty well. That I'm like, all right, I'm gonna
still work
hold
out.
off on that. Maybe there's more here than I think. But when I watch Fire Emblem Warriors, it just kind of feels there. Like there's not that same energy, and that the ways that they're paying tribute to Fire Emblem seem a little predictable, a little rote. It's just not that craziness, that vibe that I got from Hyrule Warriors or Dragon Quest Heroes for that matter.
Yeah, the selection is kind of just here's some recent characters from the recent games.
Right.
We only like the attractive people. Here they are.
It feels like a very efficient game. In
Sure.
a weird way. Yeah, I don't know.
Yep.
We'll see.
Toaster Strudel for sure. That is a Switch game, by the way, but it is also on 3DS. Next up, October 24th, Hidden Agenda.
Yeah.
This is the game I always forget the name of. It's from Supermassive. It's basically the follow-up of 4 Until Dawn.
same universe. Right?
No.
No.
The one
Inpatient.
Inpatient,
is
same
a
universe.
prequel.
Yeah.
This
yeah.
one's not the
That's
same
the
universe.
mistake I always make. I knew
Yes.
Impatient was connected to that somehow.
John, all
Inpatient
this
is a
stuff was
prequel.
announced on the same day, too.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And
but
Bravo
this one's
Team.
not the same universe? I
Not
thought
the
it was
same
like
universe.
after the events of the other one.
Wow, that'd be crazy. I don't.
Maybe
Yeah,
that's
maybe it'll tie
that's
in
a
at the end.
reveal.
Yeah.
Maybe. But this game looks like fun.
Yeah.
I like this like phone group game, video game tie-in thing. Like I know
Yeah.
some people don't love it.
So, can you explain that to someone who's just hearing about this game? For the
Okay,
first
so Hidden Agenda is like Until Dawn. It's got it's a 3D graphical game like that, storytelling, making choices.
time. A
But
3D graphical game.
yes, a 3D graphical game. I mean, you know what I mean, though. It's
Yeah.
like like Until Dawn, but instead of using a controller and one person is making choices, it's a group of I think up to 6, maybe 5.
6.
6
Yeah.
people on their phones are tied into the game and they're making group decisions, and whatever I think the average or whatever the most people pick is the choice that is made. It looks really fun.
But when that stuff comes really fun, I think, is like betrayals.
Right.
And who do you trust and things like
when
that.
when someone's like, we gotta go with Cynthia,
Yeah.
and then everyone goes with Frank,
Yeah.
and you're just like, no,
What'd you do that for? And then it's like
You
Cynthia
knew I love
dies.
Cynthia.
Like, oh,
Yeah.
come on. Yes, there's so much potential there.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
so much.
We should stream this, and we should do what we did with Until Dawn, where we all represented a character.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah. But I don't think it's that
It's
kind of
different.
thing where
Yeah,
you
I
play
think
as
it's
each
different.
other.
Who
Yeah.
knows? But yeah,
a lot of
man.
potential there. It's kind of fun new things to do with the medium. I'm all excited for it.
Agreed.
Bring it on. I don't think you need to be a group of streamers to enjoy that kind of thing.
Yo, a group of friends.
October 27th is maybe the biggest day of the year.
Of our lives.
Oh my.
Of our lives.
Oh my.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't realize those two were coming on
It's
the
all
same
been
day.
building up
Those
to this.
three are coming out?
Yeah, we got some
all been
honkers.
Oh,
Some
October
honkers, I like
27th
that.
is the day of the honkers.
Honker day.
Honk honk.
First honk. Honk honk.
Hong Kong.
These are listed in alphabetical order. Our first honker, Assassin's Creed Origins.
Honk.
Hong Kong.
Oh, so just one honk?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd give that a honk.
Give him a honk.
Am I crazy to, looking at the 3 games that come out on
Yeah.
this day, to think that this game is screwed?
You're not crazy. This might not meet expectation for Ubisoft. It's not
Which
crazy
would
to
be
think
after all that wait. It would be frustrating.
I'm wondering if it like falls between the 1 and 2 mil, where it's not a huge like failure.
I don't think it'll do poorly.
Right.
But I think that, like, when facing the juggernaut
Yeah.
of the best of these 3,
Yeah.
and then, like, even the second of these 3.
All right, you know what? Let's talk about all 3 of these at the same time.
I think we should.
Because
Wait.
everyone knows all 3 of these games are going to be great, and I really want to discuss all 3 of these games simultaneously. This could be fun.
All right.
Super Mario Odyssey is also on the 27th,
Honk, 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 honk.
and
honk, honk,
Wolfenstein 2: The New Order is also on the 27th.
Pop-Tart honk.
Yeah, that's a Pop
Honk.
Tart.
Whoa.
Yes, Ben, that's a great Pop Tart.
That's my Pop-Tart.
Why is that your Pop Tart?
Wolfenstein?
Why is that my Pop-Tart? Because Wolfenstein, the Wolfenstein: The New Order, okay, was a game where you could very easily like play through it and be like, okay, they could work on that, they could work on that, they could work on that. But what it did right, the way it told its story, the way that you cared about its characters, you were like, oh, did I go back to 1990? Like, I haven't cared about characters in a first-person shooter that is so focused on the shooting in a way like this in so long. And not only that, the shooting itself is fast, it's violent, it's fun, it's just ridiculous enough to be like constantly interesting. They're taking me to all these different locations, but it was that writing, it was that characterization. It was like, man, BJ Blazkowicz, there's so much depth there that I wasn't expecting.
His name
And-
is BJ Blazkowicz.
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, and then they actually make him a character.
And
It's
it was
fun, yeah.
it was the kind of game where you're like, if they get it so right out of this on this first take here, looking at the new Colossus, once they've learned all of these lessons, once we're deeper into the generation, once they've built up that confidence, I just believe that this game will knock the wind out of people. That it will do not only everything well that the first game did, but it will correct the mistakes, and it will pivot in a bunch of crazy directions that are really cool as well. I have a lot of faith in this game.
So Ben, we're talking about all 3 of these games. I
Yeah.
love the way you spoke to it, and I think you're completely right that this is going to be an excellent game. But at the same time, I think generally Assassin's Creed does better. I think my estimation between 1 to 2 mil was soft on Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Just because of that name recognition, and now maybe I should be more concerned for Wolfenstein 2 on this day. Do you think that's true?
Do I think it's true? I don't think like first day sales or even first week sales matter in a sense, because I think if what I was saying is true, and you even saw this with the New Order, where it slowly picked up steam over time. Once more opinions about the game got out there, once they're like, hey, there's more here than we were expecting,
Yeah.
it really kind of built up in a way. And I think that
Same
could
happened
happen
with
here.
Doom.
Right. The same thing happened with Doom. And so I think it'll be okay because of that. I think the quality will kind of work as a shield for it, where it will kind of persist through the fall and the winter.
Sure.
I think, too, that Assassin's Creed and Wolfenstein 2, they both seem like they could be really good. I think Wolfenstein 2 has a better chance of being great. But both of them feel like, how do I say it, like a soft excitement. Like, those are games that you might pick up on day one and, like, not go home directly and play if you also bought Super Mario. You're going to play Super Mario first. And then once you're, like, done with that, you jump into those, like, a week later.
Yeah.
Whatever. But you're still excited to play those games, but you're like, I'm going to play Mario first because it's,
Mario will do very well, but again, I think there's different audiences.
I do too.
I do too. There's
But
not a total overlap.
I do think there's a lot of overlap between Assassin's Creed and
Yes,
Wolfenstein.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Not total overlap.
Yeah.
I mean, I think about Megan, who used to work at GT.
Yeah.
Loves Assassin's Creed.
Yes.
Assassin's Creed. I don't know if she would play Wolfenstein 2. Like, she might, but I don't.
She's playing Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, she's going to be playing
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed. Whereas, like, all 9 of us are going to be playing Mario Odyssey.
The thing for me, and this is just speculation, but with Assassin's Creed, with it taking a year off and hearing talk about Origins, I'm honestly not seeing a tremendous amount of buzz. I'm seeing curiosity.
Yeah.
I'm seeing people check it out. But with Wolfenstein, I'm seeing a tremendous amount of goodwill. And although that audience is smaller, I think it is more eagerly awaiting its release.
Yes.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, Jones. Ubisoft always surprises us. We saw that this year with help me, Wildlands, Ghost Recon Wildlands, and that game sold incredibly well.
Yeah.
Could we see that with Assassin's Creed? Could this just make our jaws drop?
Yeah, I think Assassin's Creed is one of those games where I think there's not necessarily that angle that's really drawing me into the game right now. I think when you're finished with that game and you can kind of see like the breadth of the work that they did to realize that massive world, I see that as kind of being like one of the big takeaways. That just like, wow, that was a really that was a huge game. That was a game that introduced me to a lot of things I didn't know. That like taught me a lot about this era, a lot about ancient Egypt. It's interesting. It's like my hype for Mario Odyssey was pretty huge ever since that first announcement. It's pretty much been,
Max.
plateaued sounds negative, but it's just been maxed out.
Right. Yeah.
Can't get higher than
Colossus
top.
was just kind of like good as New Order. It looks like it is. Okay, great. And I've just been kind of bought my ticket for that, and ready to go. But Origins is interesting because I'm just like slowly getting more excited. Like the more I see about it, the more I get involved with those characters, see how they are kind of like, taking things back to the beginning, back to the drawing board and just kind of reforming how this organization was created. I'm hoping a lot of those reveals aren't silly or that it doesn't. I'm assuming it's going to get supernatural. We're going to be
there's going to be a
fighting
little
crazy
silly.
sphinxes and stuff.
Yeah,
and
you count on a little silly.
but yeah, I wonder if there's some kind of weird secret there. It'd be really interesting if they get back to the future timeline and kind of like maybe add a new, like here's with the Desmond's over, but like we're going in this direction now and kind of like plant the seeds for that.
Which is true because the future has been coasting.
Yeah.
The future's been coasting
The future's
hard.
been like nothing for like
I
I feel the kind of like textbook announcement that they did a couple weeks ago, where they're gonna have this like where like I imagine somebody in a college or high school somewhere who teaches a class about Egypt is like, oh well, hey, this is gonna be great. Got to get
I
into
think that's
this.
so cool.
That it's
I'm
only
sorry,
gonna
what?
launch a couple weeks after.
Tell me
that
about this.
It is gonna be a non-combat open world exploration mode where you can just go anywhere on the map. I think free flying. Like I think it's gonna be like a first-person camera. You can just like zoom around and just go to a place and be like, yeah, what is that? And it'll say, like some narrator will come in and be like, oh, well, when they were embalming places back in ancient Egypt, and like you actually see them like do the procedure and
I'm
little
floored
text
by
things pop
this.
up.
I didn't
Kind
know
of
they
like a
were doing
second
this.
screen
Super cool. Yes, this is
experience,
super cool.
Yeah.
but in the game. And it's not going to launch with it. I think it's going to be like a month after
Is it called
launch.
Yeah.
Discovery
It's called
mode?
Discovery. Yep.
Yeah.
That
And
is so cool.
But the thing I like
it is
about
really
that is
cool.
I don't
Very
feel that it is, or Ubisoft is treating it as like that sell. They're like, oh, now I'm totally in. That's just kind of like almost like a consumer confidence kind of a thing, where it's like, oh, that's a cool idea, and you're not necessarily doing that because you're really going to move units with that announcement. But if I was maybe on the fence, like, yeah, that would be, again, we're talking about this day, playing all three of these games that day. I see this getting pushed to number 3 for a lot of people. But I think an announcement like that, makes
I would love to play Discovery
justifies
mode.
that
Yeah.
possible
Yeah.
late
I would play the
November,
hell out
December
of it.
purchase of just
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, I got some time off during the holidays. Maybe like Origins is that game I didn't play.
That's a very good thing to bring up.
Really, really awesome. I love Egypt. I've always been fascinated with Egypt. I recently read that they found a diary on like ancient papyrus of like an official whose name I don't recall, but they found his actual diary, and it was written on this paper that maintained, like, it stayed readable for like 2,500 years, whatever. And it basically just explained how they moved the giant rocks over to build the pyramids. And like,
Finally.
mystery.
This just happened?
Yeah, like 2 or 3, maybe a month ago.
What's the mystery? What is it?
Giant boats, and then they dug little channels up to the pyramid sites, and just
so
like
it's like-
offloaded the stones.
So
yeah.
they like made moats, basically?
They made moats and had like giant stones that just they put it on the boat, took it down the Nile, took it off a man-made tributary toward the pyramid, offloaded it, and then put it in place. For the giant granite and all that.
Well, how about
Awesome. And they just like read a dude's diary and figured it out. So cool.
That is extremely cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, sorry.
Good day. October 27th.
It's gonna be
great
awesome.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, as far as social media is concerned, it's Mario. Mario's just gonna dominate all of that.
You're so right.
Because you just think about those. What's this thing? Whoa! Look at this thing that just happened to me in this video game.
But-
Yeah.
I think those instances will like a tidal wave will drastically outweigh.
I think it'll be
anything
streamed
going
more.
on.
If you
in-
go to Twitch, I think it'll be the #1 most streamed game.
Plus,
'Cause-
like,
yeah.
I think it'll get like near 100% saturation on Switch owners.
Yeah.
Like,
I
Zelda
think
did.
yeah.
I think Mario Odyssey, in a weird way, even if you are excited about it, is kind of an easy thing to roll your eyes at. But like it's just easy to say, oh, of course it's Mario, of course it's cute, or of course it's weird. But man, looking at that game, just seeing it, you can tell what they're doing with it. Like the game speaks for itself. There's
Yeah.
no fancy words that you need to use. You don't need to write a huge article. Like that is a game that it looks like when you pick it up, from the moment you pick it up to the moment you put it down, it's pure joy.
Yeah.
Like, isn't that what we want? Why would we roll our eyes at that? We should
can't.
recognize that. We should praise that. That's a cool thing.
Who's rolling their eyes?
I don't know.
No, we got commenters right now rolling.
We got
their eyes.
commenters
We have
right now
listeners
rolling
right
their
now
eyes.
rolling.
Do
their
not
eyes.
roll thine eyes.
Do not roll thine
At
eyes,
Super Mario Odyssey.
but pause your breath
I have a lot of.
and think for a moment.
I have a lot to say about.
Much like Homer's Odyssey, it'll
okay.
be a journey.
All right.
It takes us through many places.
All right, you goofballs. We're
All right.
way over time.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
I mean, we got to take long enough for this dang 4K export to finish.
Sure. Some background business over here.
Language.
Got a lot to say about this one. On October 31st, Bubsy the I'm sorry, did you hear that?
Oh, that's unfortunate.
It sounds like it's podcast halftime.
I'm sorry, Bubsy, but the following sponsors are official. The following are the official sponsors of Easy Allies for the month of October. Iron Harvest, a real-time strategy game for PC, PS4, and Xbox One, currently in development at King Art Games. Join their community and help them bring the alternate reality of 1920 plus to life. Mango. Scorn, an atmospheric horror adventure developed by Ebb Software, set in a nightmarish universe of odd forms and somber tapestry. Go to scorn-game.com for more information or check them out on Kickstarter. Jigarbov Productions. Jigarbov is just a guy who noticed there were some podcast sponsor slots available over at patreon.com/easyallies. And since he's been enjoying Easy Allies content for free since the beginning, he wanted to pay it back. He's more looking forward to getting Brandon to say some random stuff just because he can each week. He's also developing for the Minecraft marketplace, but many people hate microtransactions, so he probably won't mention that again.
Well, how do we spell Jigarbov?
You can see Jigarbov.
That is a
Jigarbov.
cool name.
Yeah, Jones, about 25% of our audience is listeners. So.
This is true.
Yeah.
Jigarbov Productions.
cool.
There you go.
Jigarbov.
I might be pronouncing that a different way next week. We'll see. iKeyless. Since 2002, iKeyless is specialized in replacement automotive keys and remotes. They can save you up to 75% off of dealerships' prices. Visit their updated website at iKeyless.com and use the promo code EZA at checkout for free shipping and an additional 17% off of your order. Jojo Denko, your friendly automotive dent repair expert. If you're currently an EZA patron and are in the Denver metropolitan area, tweet at FastMower if you would like to have your minor door dings repaired free of charge. Hogue Law Business Law Firm. Whether you're starting a business at level 1, stuck fighting the dreaded fundraising boss, or finally cashing out with a well-earned high score, you need a good business lawyer at your side. Rick Hogue started Hogue Law to bring more than a decade of experience to companies like yours and is proud to support the Allies. Check him out at www.hoaglaw.com. L. Thanis. All of these links are available in the description. Thank you to our sponsors.
Thank you, sponsors. So we made it through October. It's now time to talk about November. There are fewer games that we're going to talk about in November, but there's still, it's too much. These games are huge. On November 3rd, Call of Duty World War II is released.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Is this going to be a good game?
I think so. The reaction to the beta has been great. A
Yes.
lot of people very, very excited about that.
I liked it.
Yeah, it's tough for me to think about ye old Call of Duty games, you know, and think like, is this great because it's just it's Call of Duty 3. Yeah, Call of Duty 3 was the last World War II one that we got. Actually, that's probably wrong. It was probably followed like Big Red 1. I think might have been after 3. Am I excited because it's getting back to the good stuff, or are they improving upon
World at War.
World at War? Are they improving
good
upon
point.
that?
Yeah, World at War, yeah.
That structure back in the day, but definitely a different vibe. Going through these trenches, handling these weapons, just feeling that type of war. And I think the campaign, I'm very curious about how they bring that to life. There's just a lot of great personal stories to tell from that war. Tons of different directions that you can take. And so when they called it World War II, I was like, oh, okay. I'm very curious the story that you tell that it will attempt to encompass such a massive war.
You remember, Johns, we were talking about fear of missing out in games. I think I was thinking about it. I was thinking about this Call of Duty World War II hub.
Yeah.
I think it's really smart. I think it creates this community where you see other people who are playing Call of Duty and you're hanging out with them. If you don't know, there's like a lobby now, everybody, where you're in first person inside of the lobby. Destiny, like.
Yeah.
There's activities you can do. You can do shooting ranges within this lobby. This is where you like team up to go out and play matches and things like that. I think it's incredible. Actually, I think it's a really good idea for this game.
I don't think you're overstating this. That is extremely smart because just there's a huge difference between feeling like you're a part of something and feeling like I was a part of something. Now I'm kicked back into a menu. I have to wait to be part of something again.
Sure.
Like that's a pretty huge step, I think, psychologically.
Is it like that? Is it in between each activity you're in this hub?
Yeah, this is basically the lobby system.
Cool.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean,
Like everybody's golf kind of?
I wonder how players can interact with each other. I think that's a really important. Because I just don't know. I'm actually learning about this.
You'll have to
for
make
the
an
first time.
avatar?
So
The dumbest thing, when you, what's it called? Prestige. When you prestige, there's a ceremony. And if you attend somebody's prestige ceremony, you get a benefit as well.
that is so dumb and so smart.
Yes.
That is so smart.
Yes.
That's gonna work.
I know.
Yeah.
Very funny.
And so that happens in this little hub, just like, I'm prestiging everyone. Everyone, I'm prestiging.
Wait, can I be in on this?
Yeah,
I need
you'll
to
get
come get your buff.
Come on over. Yeah, come get your buff.
And you know what? You
Put
know
in
what?
your Mountain Dew code.
That Slack message is gonna happen from Huber, where he's gonna
yeah.
say, "Be part of my
see my
event,"
prestige.
and I'm gonna want to be a part of it. I want.
He's gonna
to be a part of
invite
it.
us,
graduation.
save the date. And I really, really, really hope that you can change the outfits on your avatar so people can go like black tie to people's prestige events. You like go formal.
You weren't at my event.
I couldn't help but notice.
You
Next day
wanna?
at high school,
I saw you
blue
online
jeans.
playing Destiny.
Yeah.
You want to explain that? I raided with you.
I carried you, man.
I love. Oh man, this like weird social obligation stuff in games is so
I
funny.
think it could be very cool. Yeah, I'm excited about it. Excited about that game.
That's an easy update
Yeah.
right there too.
Sure. Well, I mean, it's not easy to prestige. Oh,
Oh,
you mean
we
just
can
hanging
just
out,
shoot it.
just shenanigans with.
We could just shoot Huber's prestige event and we
Oh,
all have
sure.
to go.
Yeah.
And like we don't want to.
November 7th, Need for Speed Payback.
My awareness of this game has really dropped off since
Yeah, I
E3.
forgot about this game.
Yeah. You're in Vegas. Shall we move on?
Yeah, we shall.
We shall.
We shall.
They said open world, which got me excited, but moving on.
Sonic Forces, also November 7th.
I feel like I am more excited about Sonic Forces than I should be.
Me too, Ben.
I
like I'm just setting myself up.
I don't get it because we've played it
You played Sonic Forces?
at PSX.
Did you get to make a character?
No, I played one of
Yeah,
their
but
like
that's-
already made characters, but it's like
No.
hang on.
Uh-oh.
I
Okay.
played it right after
right,
playing
you're
Sonic Mania.
Yeah.
And then I played Sonic Forces.
Yeah.
And I was like, Sonic Mania is incredible.
You're
Sonic
right.
Forces is irritating.
Oh.
Like I liked the Sonic levels, but the created character level, like the jumping was weird. I was like, this is very weird. And maybe it's just because I didn't create that
No.
character.
I don't think you're wrong.
It was weird. And I'm
I-
worried about this game.
I just watching the footage and seeing it in demos.
Have you not played it?
I haven't played it.
It
They wouldn't let me
feels
play
weird.
it. Yeah, it looks like it feels weird.
Right.
I'm totally with you.
The Sonic stuff was great. Was fun.
But the thing is, this creative character just
You
throws
just
a wrench
pick
in the
from
whole
presets,
thing.
though. You just pick some little presets.
But it's okay. I can use those presets to see this dumb character interact with Sonic and his friends, and they're gonna be taking it so seriously that I don't know if I'm gonna care how bad the game is.
Yeah.
Because you have that bad guy named what is Infinite, right?
Yeah.
His name is Infinite,
Yeah.
and the way that he talks, he treats himself like the most serious dude in the world, and
Yeah.
it's hilarious and it's beautiful. And then you throw my stupid little Sonic in there. It's just like a feast of hilarity.
Yes.
Like maybe the game is terrible, but I think there's gonna be enough for me to hang on to for $40.
All right.
And that's
For
it.
40
it's a
bucks.
$40 game.
Sure,
Yeah.
all right. $40. When you said $40, I was like,
I'm
oh,
not
all right.
like I'm not
Everything's
trying to
fine.
defend the game
No,
because I
everything's
think
fine.
you're right.
$40.
but-
That's fine.
I can see the TV spot now. Feast of Hilarity. Easy Alice.
Yeah, it's just hilarity. And it's
show-
only $40.
They show the Shadow the Hedgehog DLC and people are just like, oh boy, and I say, oh
boy. Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah.
yes.
It does
Shadow
seem-
the Hedgehog DLC for this game, yes.
It does seem like they have a sense of humor about it.
Yeah.
And I'm here for that.
Also on November 7th. Oh, and also, hey, this is Xbox One X release date, November 7th.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that can't really be a toaster strudel or a Pop-Tart, but that's pretty interesting. Okay, Super Lucky's Tale is why I thought of it. November 7th. This game might be really cool.
This game might be really cool. I agree. I
Is that
echo
the Fox one?
That's the Fox.
Oh
one.
yeah, that game
Yeah.
looks cool.
Yeah, exactly. It is. It just if you're curious, audience, it is the sequel to Lucky's Tale, an Oculus exclusive game. So this is a VR franchise, and it still kind of has that we're looking down onto Lucky perspective in this game. I suspect that eventually it will be a VR game, but for now, yeah, this is a platforming game you can play on your Xbox One X when that console comes out. And yeah, it's a 3D platformer.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Shall we move on?
We shall. November 10th. How did this get on here? Mario Party: The Top 100.
Shall we move on?
We shall.
We shall.
Okay. That's fun, actually. We should have this. We should have that for every segment of this podcast.
Yeah.
It's a 3DS collection
that
of
would be
Mario
good.
Party games.
Yeah,
There,
yeah, exactly.
We're good.
Why 3DS? November 14th. Lego Marvel Superheroes 2. Don't you dare, because this is my Pop-Tart. We're like looking at each other.
Yeah, I know.
No, I was like staring at you.
Yeah, no, I was
dare.
thinking of making it my toaster strudel, but it wasn't strong enough.
Toaster strudel.
But I didn't. Because
What
I only
world
have,
are we living in?
I only have one concern,
What is your one concern?
and it's because I was spoiled.
Yeah.
Because the original Lego Marvel Superheroes is
so
so good,
Yes, yeah.
that it's like there's got to be some. Surely I needed more time since the announcement to launch of hearing more stuff about this game.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if it's that kind of. I'm just a little nervous that it's that Lego Indiana Jones 2 vibe, where it's not like clearly the sequel needed to go here, but they kind of looked at the Marvel Universe and they're like, oh, we got all sorts of weird people. Like, oh, let's get the Inhumans in there, get, the Guardians we haven't done yet, so gotta have the Guardians.
Guardians
Less
were
of
in the last one.
for the, but like more Guardians characters, like,
Sure.
the
Nebula,
Mantis, who, like,
Mantis.
wasn't in, I don't think was in Marvel Superheroes, was she?
Hard to
Mantis?
say. I'm
Yeah.
gonna say
Mantis
no.
wasn't in
I'm gonna say
Guardians
no. I 100%
1.
of that game. I don't think she was.
So, yeah, so I don't know if it's like they're scraping the bottom of the barrel, to put more characters in there, or if it's like, no, it's all going to come together because it's going to be amazing. And, is it that true sequel to that first game or another cell? Something that they realized they could do, so why not?
So
I
here's
hope
the
that
thing.
Singularity is in it.
What's up? Oh, that's a Marvel hero.
I hope Singularity is in it.
Sure. I am okay with Lego games. I haven't played any of them since Lego Marvel. Lego Marvel is a special kind of Lego game.
Definitely.
We had this huge, cool hub world of New York City, and then individual levels within that. And so it was very fun to actually do side missions around the city, to go and do those Lego Marvel missions, to find Wolverine, bring Wolverine back into that thing so you're 100%ing it. It rewards you constantly for exploring, for taking new characters on these missions, and for climbing a tower, for hopping onto a lion's back and making that lion climb all the way up a skyscraper. And so I'm hoping for that. When I say this is my Pop-Tart, I just mean give it a second look. It's not a typical Lego game.
Sure.
And it is like Lego Avengers 2 came out recently, right? That's not it. It's not this.
Yeah.
It's a very different game, and it's not advertised as a very different game, and so that's why I felt like I gotta give it.
Maybe
a
that's
second.
the other thing too. That Avengers game, is still on my palate. So I'm just like, that was much more movie focused. So
Oh, it
like,
had
I
the
see
voices in the
the
movie. It made me
Inhumans
so
getting its own
mad,
TV
yeah.
show and Volume 2
right.
Guardians coming out, and then them focusing on them for the new one. And so I'm wondering, like, is this more of a, does this serve Disney and Marvel more, or is this, for the Lego fans?
Yeah.
I have been throughout my history pretty dismissive of Lego games.
Yeah.
And it's created kind of this mindset where I don't really pay that much mind, because every time I sit down with a Lego game, especially with a buddy, a friend, I always expect to have more fun than I actually end up having. I remember playing Lego Harry Potter and Lego Indiana Jones and Lego Jurassic Park and being like, this is fine, but we're just kind of doing it. There's nothing really about it that is drawing us in and making us excited. It just seems kind of like,
was hit like a wall.
Yeah,
Like
you
logic
hit a weird
where you're like,
wall.
what do I do?
Right. But you saying that, no, this isn't like that, this is different, gives me pause.
Yeah.
I want to play as all these superheroes in Lego form.
Yeah.
I'm similar. I've never finished one, and I always hit that logic wall, and then I stop. In the 2 that I played, which I think were Harry Potter and maybe Star Wars.
Oh yeah, I think I played.
But the one thing I do appreciate about all these games is they're very earnest, and
Yes.
they're just very
Yeah.
like quaint and sweet.
I think that, yes. Thank you, Ian.
And
That,
I just like that about them.
that defines what's missing when they use the movie quotes.
Right,
You lose
right,
that sweetness,
yes,
you
right,
lose that
right.
quaintness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I totally agree with that.
Like they make me feel very good.
But I feel
just
like
knowing they're out there.
the strange puzzles that I've been thrown into doesn't seem like it perfectly matches up
Right.
with that
Yeah,
vibe.
yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah.
maybe the more freeform exploration of Marvel superheroes.
It seems like the perfect fit for that what they want to do, where it's like you said, you're just having fun doing whatever you want, exploring around.
Yeah.
That's the perfect match for like fun little quirky game where you kind of just do whatever you want.
Yeah,
And
you can
then you
smash
stop
taxi
when you
cabs.
want.
You can be Spider-Man. You can just smash taxi cabs. It's not a big deal. You can smash
Right.
people. They explode into bits and they're fine with it. Yeah, it's so
They're
fun.
fine with it.
November 14th. Ooh, we have a very big game on November 14th. Star Wars Battlefront 2.
That's my toaster strudel.
Hey-o!
Breaks my heart.
You're breaking my heart right
I know.
now. Please explain why that would
Whoa.
possibly be a
thrilled
toaster
about this.
strudel.
That's a take.
Yeah. I'm just nervous. There's got to be some catch to it somewhere. I don't know. Like, that first game did not have enough in it. I think the thing that really carried me, I reviewed it and I still spoke very favorably of that first game because it was the prettiest Star Wars game I had ever played in my life.
Ever.
Of any genre, ever.
Yeah.
It just
and it still is.
just the way that sounds. I mean, just the first time a TIE fighter
sound,
crashed
yeah.
right in front of me, I was just in love and was like, this is incredible. Like, just running, just like turning the corner of the hallway and there's Vader. Like, like just that fear. And that to me was so interesting and so long overdue that, lacking that content, it was just like, I felt like classic EA and just like, okay, I get what they did here and kind of like the stranglehold that they want to have on people, just slowly teasing out these things. And I think it might just be the advertising. I haven't had a chance to play it. Like, I completely missed that opportunity at E3 this year. And so just seeing how they're marketing it, seeing tweets where they're like counting how many vehicles. We got this many planets, this many vehicles, this many characters.
Yeah.
Like, we have this new story that was sorely missing from the first game that we knew. Like, I get the vibe that like that wasn't a surprise. Oh,
Yeah.
story, we should have put that in. Like, you knew. Like, you clearly were adding everything up and thinking like, are we going to piss off that many people? Enough that our sales are going to be bad at the first
Right,
game. And they were
yeah.
right. They pulled it off without having to worry about that. And so just the whole attitude of them coming in after the fact, being like, well, we listened to things. It's like, you stop it. Like, you didn't like, John Boyega tweeted you and that's why you did the story campaign.
Yeah.
Just all of those vibes going into this, like I'm just expecting it not to be good. I don't know why. And that might seem unfair,
It's
but
not unfair, Jones, because they have not shown off a lot of that single-player campaign.
Right.
I haven't read the Christie Golden book that goes
Yeah.
into the series, and so I know a lot of people read that and are like, "Oh, I'm so excited to get
Yeah.
more involved with this character." And I've seen cutscenes, and there's just that, it's that little voice in the back of my head where I'm just like, that seems like an interesting character, and the little voice is like, the campaign is 5 hours long, and like,
Right,
yeah,
right,
you're probably
right.
right, and just like, oh, those vehicles look neat and stuff. It's like, there's not going to be enough maps to please the fan base. Like, oh, you're right. It's like, are they really going to learn their lessons and really double down on this? Is it going to be that satisfying to have Yoda fight Darth Maul? Like, are the characters going to be that unique, or again, is it going to feel like less like this amazing sequel and more like a platform to put more content in? You gotta wait for the extra stuff,
They've said all the DLC, the new maps, is going to be free.
which is incredible.
That's
Like,
incredible,
like,
but I think that means loot boxes. I think
Yeah,
that
whatever
means
that
loot
is, I'm
boxes
just
for
waiting
sure.
for that
Yeah.
other shoe to drop, and
Yeah.
and that's what a toaster strudel means to me. It's not that like, oh, I'm not gonna have fun. Like I'm gonna have a
Right.
blast playing this stuff, and I know
campaign,
Brad is gonna have a blast. I know he's definitely gonna be in there. I know Huber's probably gonna put some hours into that. So it's totally unfair and unfounded. I understand that, and coming from a huge Star Wars fan like myself.
No, that all sounds reasonable to me.
But it's just me. Me in marketing. Like it's like companies can rub me the wrong way sometimes just by how they approach a game. And I think EA, just how much they've been touting specific things, makes me nervous that they're covering up for something else, or that it doesn't quite meet the expectations they want me to have for
Chance,
it.
I bet they're going to go hard in October, though.
Oh,
Marketing.
my goodness.
I bet we're going to see it.
That's
kick off
another
soon.
thing
Yeah,
too.
beta
Is
this
that
week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Since GT, I have not really been focusing that much on trailers. Like when I was at Game Trailers, all of the dumb Assassin's Creed trailers we got, I would watch all of them. Like I would spend each day at work watching at least 10 trailers, for weird projects I didn't really know about. And I'm not really doing that so much. I only just follow EA and follow Battlefront on Twitter. Even just that has been like, okay, calm
been a
down
lot.
with the,
That's fine.
just really like promoted tweets and just kind of like coughing up the same selling points again and again and
Right.
again. And so it seems a little desperate. It seems like, no, we really want to, we really want to sell the improvements that we've made with this. And it's like, is that because you have this kind of jaded fan base that didn't feel like they got enough in the first game, so you're telling us what we want to hear? Or are you touting things that really are going to make a big difference compared to the first game? I don't know.
Yeah.
That uncertainty, that kind of cloud of mystery surrounding the game makes it a little strudely for me.
Sure. Fair enough, Chance.
Yeah.
On November 17th, we see the release of Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon.
Kyle,
Yeah.
why is nothing about this game exciting in the slightest?
I can tell you why. I got a theory, man. I got a theory that the Pokemon company has been coasting off the same marketing team for a long time. And because the games sell well, there's no reason to change what they're doing. And that team does not do enough to sell these games.
When they do trailers and they're like, here's the new stuff, it's just in one ear and out the other.
Yeah.
It's like this seems like the least substantial new version of this stuff, and I really like what I've played of Sun and Moon.
It's an updated version of the one that came out earlier
It's an
this
ultra
year.
version of those last year.
Last year, but it's the same game just with more Pokemon in it.
It very much seems so. So normally there's never a brand new Pokemon in an updated version. So we're used to this. We're used to seeing a game come out and then like a modified version of it a year later. That's not irregular. But the idea that there are two new Ultra Beasts should be a huge deal. They never announce. And that's usually different versions of the same Pokemon, but never like, oh, there's two new Pokemon. I think people who are into the competitive scene are salivating at these two new Ultra Beasts. I think most people are shrugging their shoulders and saying that looks dumb. That one looks like a big old boxy box, and the other one looks like a lollipop. Like it's just they don't look cool. They don't look like Pokemon that I want to be friends with.
Right.
They look like Ultra Beasts.
But when you take something like an Ultra Beast, I feel like they're taking that name and just applying it in the most boring literal way.
Yeah.
It's not like, whoa, this is that creature, but they've twisted it and changed it in so much that it's this new exciting thing. It's like, yeah, but it's got like more stuff on it. It's a little bigger.
When we did Brandon's son Kyle Moon, I had such a hard time explaining to Jones what the Ultra Beasts were about because he's like, are they Pokemon or what?
Yeah, what?
Should I care about
I've never
these?
heard of these before in my entire life.
Yeah, they're like Pokemon from another universe, which should be really exciting, but totally isn't.
And any desire I get from actually having those Pokemon in my library and going out and catching them, I got most of from just watching the trailer.
Yeah.
From just seeing the shot of it, like, coming out and presenting itself. I'm like, cool.
Yep, got it.
Done.
You're in my Pokedex.
Box
The satisfaction
checked.
derived
Yeah,
from
yeah.
that, I got most of it. I'm good.
Yeah, Ben, I mean, there's new areas and things, but nothing truly explained of why.
Oh, that
this
weird
is
like
Ultra.
Pikachu park?
Yeah, the Pikachu
Yeah.
Park is new.
Here's what absolutely destroys me.
Yeah.
I feel like, and I'm speaking for myself, or I shouldn't speak for all Pokemon fans, but I feel like we're an easy audience in some ways. Where, like, you don't have to do that much. Where like if you like Pokemon, you really like it. Like you love it. You don't have to do that much to get us excited, and they're letting us down.
Yeah.
They're making it boring.
Yes.
And they don't have to do that much.
Yeah.
And it's like the way they're handling this whole Switch announcement. Like this should feel huge. You don't have to do that much. Just like you could have whipped up some sort of teaser that like had Pokemon. You don't have to do that much, and you're just sitting at a desk and you're being like, yeah, it's coming. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
This sucks. We
silhouette,
love you.
whatever, yeah.
We're gonna be there. Do
Yeah.
something.
They know it.
Yep.
It's on Switch now? It's going to come to Switch?
The next year's will be on Switch.
Oh.
2018's Pokemon
So not even
game.
Ultra Sun and Moon will be on Switch.
Oh, no. This is a 3DS game.
Ah.
Yeah, there's very little reason to be
Because
excited
they
about this.
sell both, baby.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure this will come out again on the.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So wait, they always do this, where they just put out the same game the next year?
So yeah, kind of. I mean, they had Pokemon Yellow way back when. Then they had Pokemon Crystal. Then they had Pokemon Platinum with so like Diamond and Pearl came out a year later. You got Platinum, but Platinum looks like a bigger change than this does. You know, they advertised it well. They communicated what is different about this one. With Emerald, it's like what is different. Emerald
Is their goal though to get the like? I'm a person who bought Sun and Moon.
Yeah.
Are they wanting me to buy Ultra Sun and Moon, or
They
is
want you to
Ultra
buy
Sun and
that,
Moon for
yeah.
someone who's never bought it?
It's for both
Yeah.
because there's a lot of overlap. It looks like the story will be mostly identical. And they're just like, there's a little bit of changes. We're not going to tell you which. Right there, and like if you go on their website, it's like some of the challenges are going to be different. Like this one, it's like some of them are going to be different. The others are going to be identical. And they're like, yeah, love it, please. It's like,
Love it, please.
love us. It's annoying. It's annoying how they're.
How long
advertising it.
is the story?
It's long.
Not
Jones,
short.
It's like 20 hours, right?
Yeah.
20 plus maybe. Yeah.
That's a weird ask.
Yeah, that's a weird ask. A year later. It is
Yeah.
definitely weird to ask us to do that again a year later. It's like, really?
Is that Drew Carey?
Jim Carrey?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
got it. Great. December 1st, Doom VFR is actually not Doom. It's a whole other extra Doom VR game, so that's
VR
why it's on. It's the only VR game I got on here because I think it might be the biggest VR game of the year.
Oh, possibly, yeah.
I mean, there haven't been a lot of other.
So is Skyrim VR next year or this year?
Skyrim VR is this year.
Okay.
As well. No, sorry. Fallout 4 VR is this year.
Okay.
Skyrim VR, dang, is that this year? I actually don't know.
I don't know.
I'll check.
Okay, well, here's the Prove It ticket. Prove It ticket has become Check It ticket, but it's
Sure.
fine. Prove it.
I feel like Doom VFR has so much of the natural difficulty of VR within it, where it's like, I really like Doom, but I'm worried that it's not going to feel right, but I haven't actually played it, and it's hard to get a sense by just looking at it.
Yeah.
Like, it has all of that natural hesitation built in.
Looks
but
like
I'm
November
curious.
17th, 2017.
Okay, so Fallout 4, Doom, and Skyrim VR all coming out this
a
year.
lot,
That's a
yeah.
lot. That's a lot of VR games. Though I think that might be like PSVR exclusive to Skyrim for the rest of this
Yes,
year.
That's
and
what
so-
it's looking like.
All it took was Brandon Jones saying, I had a lot of fun playing Skyrim VR, and I was just
Yeah.
immediately on board. Like, all of
Yeah.
that skepticism washed away.
With
I've
Doom, though,
still not played more than like an hour of.
And I loved into my Skyrim demo. I went into a dungeon and fought a giant spider, which you'll love.
yeah.
Because it's one thing
I'm
fighting.
not playing it
It's
now.
one thing fighting
I
that
forgot
giant
about
spider in
that.
Skyrim. It's another thing doing
Unsolved.
it in VR.
Yeah,
When that
Brandon-
giant furry spider just gets right up in your face.
Oh my god!
Okay, we're moving on. We're gonna go back to Doom. Go back to Doom. So, as opposed to those games, as opposed to Fallout and Skyrim, where you're kind of just playing the exact same game but in VR, Doom wouldn't really work like that. Doom would make us all sick
you
and
would
we'd all go
pass
crazy.
out.
Yeah.
And so I think what was shown in the trailers is that you kind of like hop around. It's kind of like the thing where a lot of VR games do this. You point at a spot and you hop there. And yeah, it's made for VR. I think it might be interesting. I don't know. What do we think, panel?
Give it a chance.
Yeah.
Could be cool. Could be really cool.
It worked the least for me out of the Bethesda stuff.
Oh,
I still enjoyed
you
it.
played Doom
and
VR.
I have not played that Doom. I have not played the new Doom. So I couldn't make that comparison to how it holds up in a VR sense. Where I have played, haven't played Fallout, but I have played Skyrim. And so yeah, I
played
definitely
Fallout?
got that vibe. Yeah, I never any of them.
Whoa.
Never. Yeah, no experience with Fallout at
You
all.
love open worlds.
I know, but just too many. I've never played Watch Dogs 1 or 2, so there's plenty of open world games I got to skip
Fallout
every year.
4 might be
Gotcha.
one you could check.
But
Don't
yeah,
judge us.
definitely got the vibe from those that those were those games translated.
Yeah.
Where Doom felt weird. It felt weird having a giant gun in my hand that moves, that has no weight because it can't, because it's VR.
Yeah.
It's like it can only be the weight of my hand.
Uh-huh.
And some things legit like spawned on me. So I'd be like inside
Oh,
of a
man.
character. I'd be like
Whoa.
inside of a big fat like character model. Like, what's happening? Whoa, okay. And so I got to like port
That's-
out of it. So
yeah,
like,
right.
stuff's. And so it just seemed. I wouldn't say sloppy, but it seemed like not the best game to translate to VR.
Sure.
Something that was probably reserved for people that are very passionate about Doom or just need a really ferociously, crazy shooter.
What does the F stand for?
VFR? Fracken, I believe.
Oh, okay, cool. Also on December 1st, the last game we're talking about, Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
It's happening.
On
Yeah.
December 1st,
It's happening
Ben.
This year.
It's happening. Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little
Merry
bit- a little
Christmas,
early.
Ben.
Yeah, I mean, I say that because the reason I'm so excited is
Yeah.
because I just so recently, really, truly, and it, like if you watch the streams, you see it, a wonderful time with Xenoblade Chronicles. So I can't help but be excited for the sequel. It is interesting seeing the response to the latest Nintendo Direct because I think there are some criticisms that people threw at it that I'm like, yeah, I see where you're coming from.
What kind of criticisms?
The voice acting specifically, the dryness of it, that people are worried that it's not going to be an engaging world, that the combat looks slow, that maybe it'll feel really slow, which was a little strange for me because when I think about Xenoblade, I don't necessarily think of a fast game, but maybe there's something there, maybe it will feel off, and so it's not a home run as much as I get excited about it, as thrilled as I am that it's coming out. There is potentially, we don't know. It's not written in stone that that's going to be a great game, but as somebody who just finished Xenoblade Chronicles, looking at the gameplay, looking at the world, the world is the most important thing to me.
Yeah.
And getting on those Titans, like they're doing a good job of making them seem huge and wondrous and exciting to explore. And at the very least, if they can get that right, I will be plenty excited.
Yeah, well, I hear you, Ben. I think actually Xenoblade Chronicles X presented worlds that looked fun to explore, but I didn't play it because the game didn't seem fun enough. And so
Sure. What do you mean by that, though? Like, what didn't seem fun enough?
I think a lot of it's character design, but
Sure.
setting up a premise where I'm like, yeah, I want to be on that adventure. And I feel like Chronicles 2 comes closer to that. I think absolutely that.
Yeah, I think so.
And so it comes down to will this combat system will it drag us through, right? In RPGs, I feel like you tolerate combat systems a lot. It's very seldom that the combat system is, as you're talking about Etrian Odyssey.
Yeah.
When you're talking about like, why you play Mario for fun? Why can't a combat system just be fun?
Right.
RPGs, don't always pull that off. A lot of them.
No,
yeah.
absolutely. I think there are a lot of RPGs, a lot of great games that we acknowledge as great games that really have mediocre battle systems. But
Yeah.
I think sometimes the battle system is like a huge part of why the game is so good. I am a big fan, a big defender of the Xenoblade battle system. Like, I think it's excellent. I think it's excellent in both Chronicles and in X. And so I'm hoping that Xenoblade 2 follows suit as well. And like, think about Bravely Default, right? Where
Yes.
I think you could talk about that game without ever bringing up the battle system, but I would never say the battle system is something you tolerate. Like, I think it is
And
so
that-
well done.
No, I think it's one of the cases where like that it's a benefit to that game.
Yeah, definitely. And I hope it happens with Xenoblade 2. I have a lot of hopes riding on it.
Ooh, it sounds like you have a lot of fears too.
I think I have a lot of fears because I played X and liked X and it was good, but it wasn't one of those games that like wormed its way into my heart and like built a home there.
It doesn't look like the kind of game that would. Yeah.
Right. Xenoblade Chronicles did. There is a home in my heart for Xenoblade Chronicles. Like, it means a lot to me. And so this being like, yeah, this is the one where it's following up so soon after I had that experience, like, there's no way I can build up a shield. There's no way I can build up a defense. Like, if it's bad, it's going to rip me raw.
Yeah.
So,
And that's it.
That's it.
That's it for 2017.
You forgot about when From Software shadow drops Bloodborne 2 at PSX. It's going to take over Christmas. It's going to be amazing. Look for
Why
it.
would they do that?
Look for it.
Why would they do
Why
that?
wouldn't they do that?
That would be bad, I think. That would be. I know it'd be so great to get your hands on it, but that would
Yeah.
be disingenuous, I think, to to
That poor
a
game.
game of that caliber to,
Yeah.
It's gonna
to
be
just
great.
basically have no advertising campaign at all.
They'll announce it and it'll come out in March.
Bizarre.
It'll come out in March.
All right. Yeah, we'll talk about March some other time. But yeah, that is
Some other time.
that's
our
December.
winter
That's
preview.
2017. That is the end of our previews.
This year got
I
good.
love doing
Finally.
Pop-Tarts and Toaster
Yeah.
Strudels. I hope
wish
that is
there'd
as
been
fun
a
for
bunch of
people
good
as it is
games
for
so
me.
far this
Yeah,
year.
I love doing.
But getting both Xenoblade and no,
that
not
just
even.
hit
I think
my
you. Yeah.
laptop. Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
Let me see if I can hit his laptop. Yeah. But I mean, getting games the size of Zelda and Xenoblade exclusive to the Switch, like,
Yeah.
bravo,
And
Nintendo.
Mario.
Good year.
Oh, it's been an excellent year for the Switch. It's been an excellent year for
It
PS4.
really has. And like before the podcast, I was playing Azure Striker Gunvolt on
Yeah.
the Switch. Like that's not a game anybody's bringing up, but that's the thing about the Switch right now is it's got these big hitters, and then you go on the eShop and you're like, oh, I want to give that a chance too. It's got
Yeah.
so many of those golf stories, Steamroll
Yeah.
Dig 2.
Yeah.
SteamWorld Dig 2, baby!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Haven't touched either of those games.
Ooh, I bet,
SteamWorld
I
Dig 2
bet
is so good!
it wasn't on this list, but I bet that new Shovel Knight expansion will be coming.
Oh, yeah!
Oh,
I
yeah,
keep
yeah.
forgetting it.
What is
'cause
it?
It's
The
so
King?
good.
That's the thing is, there's a couple of other expansions I didn't put on the list because I don't like to talk about expansions too much. But like Horizon's gonna be huge and Zelda's gonna be huge.
Oh,
Those two expansions
what
are
day
gonna
is
be huge.
Zelda's expansion?
That don't have a date yet.
Oh, no,
I thought
Horizon.
it was December.
Yeah.
That's snow stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, there's even more on top of that. I know that I'll get a lot of things about like, why didn't you talk about this game? Why didn't you talk about this game? Only the heavy hitters, only the big boys on this one.
Zelda's not
Only
a
the heavy
big
hitters, and
boy?
you put Etrianos together. I like. I love you.
We went way over, and like, yeah, I could not add another one. So much fun to talk about though. Great year ahead of us, and yeah, just almost a record-setting year. That's a good year, 2017. One to remember.
It's one of the best years, I think, in games.
Let's do
Ever.
a little love and respect.
Love and respect.
Oh, when it gets musical,
Yeah.
that's very nice. Let's just, you know what? I'm not even going to challenge the panel. We don't have to.
Let's do it!
No, I mean, there's no challenge here. This is just a nice little thing.
Oh.
Allies, it's been a tough week, month, and year, and I've been reflecting on positive presences in my life. Obviously, your ragtag crew of gaming dudes rises to the top of my list. That's not obvious. Your love and respect credo affects fans like me in real ways, and we're grateful for the positivity and joy you exude through your content, coverage, and character. My question for you this week: what specific games do or have done that same important work? Have you ever had a title change you for the better, or seen a game transform its player base in palpable positive ways? Video games have been vilified since their inception as corrupting, violence, and endorsing influences. But we all know that games can we all know the good games can do when they spark us, soothe us, or show us new perspectives and possibilities. Sorry about that. Switching pages. For example, both Abzu and Inside recently spoke to me in moving ways about our planet and humanity, respectively, how I can be more mindful, more compassionate, less fearful, and apathetic. Again, thanks as always for showing us how games and gamers can do better and be better. Love and respect, Justin from Kansas. Cool. So let's just talk about positivity for 1 second. No, more than 1 second. Let's be positive. Have you ever had a game that has like positively influenced you, or like, man, I could be better. I could be happy. I could do better.
Yeah.
What kind of games?
There are a lot of examples that I've talked about a lot. Metal Gear Solid is one, Final Fantasy IX is one, but one that I haven't really spoken about in this way, and I know we talk about this series too much, but it's actually true. Dark Souls did something for me in a way that a game never has before, like before or since.
Whoa.
Where I was... the time Dark Souls came out, I was an intern at Game Trailers, and it was wonderful. It's a time of my life that I always reflect back on, but it was like this constant and intense fear that I will probably never feel again, because it was like that elation of being like, I've wanted to do this job for so long. This is my shot where I'm at the ground floor. If I mess it up, they're going to forget about me and I'll be gone forever. If I don't mess it up, I'm going to skyrocket to the moon, and that too is terrifying. So it's just like every good moment I had, there was this thing gnawing at the back of my brain. It's like, this could all go away very, very quickly. And Dark Souls was the perfect game for that sort of brain, because I remember going and playing Dark Souls, and somebody who got me into Demon Souls, they were like, no, you need to play this. I'll play it with you to like help you, and they did. And we struggled a little bit, but we got through it together. Dark Souls I played by myself, and I remember I remember the Capper Demon. I remember so many things where I would just be fighting these things over and over, like dozens of times, and constantly in that game when I beat something, I felt like I did that. I can do this, and I feel like in a weird way, and a way that doesn't sound true, but at the time was very true for me. It was like, no, man, you can do this. Stick with it. Like, it may take several tries, but you can do it. And it was a lesson that I very much needed, and kind of fortified me in a way that I wasn't expecting. So,
wow,
very cool.
Yeah. Ian, you got?
I mean, him saying that made me realize how important the Souls series has been in my life too. Like, kind of in a similar way, but a different way, because in college and stuff, I studied a lot of like Eastern philosophy and Zen and all that kind of stuff. And like Souls kind of just reinforced that sort of those lessons of like perseverance and patience and like learning from failure and like accepting that, you know, holding on to these souls doesn't matter. Like, it's fine. You know, just let it go.
Sure.
That was really, it's a Zen teacher. I really, really, really think that. I think that it can help you be a better person if you go past the rage and into the peace. But recently Bound really hit me,
cool.
Spoke to me in a good way. Not because I have any like shared experience with any of the characters or circumstances necessarily, but I just thought it was very well done and a beautiful way to take dance in a way that you don't see a lot in video games and just utilize it in a very affecting way. I really liked that. And weirdly, one that came to mind as a very positive just memory in my life was Final Fantasy X and Final Fantasy X-2.
Mm-hmm. Whoa, X-2 even.
Yeah. I just had a wonderful experience with playing those games with my friend Brandon and everything. And yeah, they were just such positive forces for me at the time. And yeah, man, video games are just wonderful.
Yeah.
Just pretty much across the board, I think.
What have you got, Jones?
I got one that has nothing to do with the game, but rather the community.
Whoa.
And just how the company handled that game, and that was Disney Infinity. It was really great. It was a pleasure that I didn't get before, and I don't think I will ever get again, similar to this, which is they would have the Toy Box Summit, and they only had 2 of them. They didn't do one the first year, but they did one for 2.0 and 3.0, and we never got a 4, and so I just went to 2 of these. But it was really fascinating meeting these people from all around the world, seeing why they liked the game, and having them get together and compete to build something. Not just competing to like try to get the most kills or, you know, show up like, oh, I'm the best, clearly at the end of the day. You're bringing in judges, having this completely abstract winner that like everybody was great. Everybody built a cool toy box. But we might have just, you know, we all had our favorites. I remember we came in like year 2. It was like, I mean, that was my favorite from last year. You like that one? How could you like that one? I like this toy box. And seeing these people come in that like English might not have been their first language. I remember one duo was like really quiet, but they were twin brothers, and they were just like they would like draw out on graph paper like what they were gonna do, and they were so determined. Somebody else might have been a family that really came together, and so you had parents that were like with their younger daughter was really like Tinkerbell, and so they're trying to like help her, you know, build this Tinkerbell maze, and they were all streaming together and making videos together on YouTube, and so seeing this community come around this, one of the person who won the first Toy Box Summit. One of their prizes was to get I don't remember specifically what they called the characters, but like a little character put into Disney Infinity 3.0. And then when they had the Toy Box Summit 2, I kept thinking like, oh, that's kind of dangerous. I experience that now with our Patreon community. It's dangerous to create celebrities in your community because other people feel, oh, I'm maybe not as good as that person. I'm not being recognized as much as that person. What am I doing wrong? And so I was nervous when that happened. Like, I wonder if this community is kind of going to turn on her in a way of just like, oh, well, clearly you're in the game now. And when they showed up at the second Toy Box Summit or making stuff, they put her at the center of it any chance they got. You know, any chance like, oh, the Emperor's coming out. It was like her, you know, or like
oh, so other people used her in their toy boxes.
Okay, cool. You know, it's sometimes positively, sometimes negatively, but in a joking way.
Yeah.
And so it was just great, you know, seeing how that community came together and seeing them now so many years later, you know, embracing other games that do have this creative component to it, and you know, as they've moved on and gotten married or have children or something like that, it's kind of fun to stay close with that community and seeing them supporting people and focusing on other gaming environments, gaming experiences that are similar to Infinity, trying to recapture that magic. But just something with a huge company like Disney behind it could have just had just crazy marketing push and just felt like a big corporate song and dance the whole time. And that was not the vibe I got at all.
Yeah.
Even like going to Avalanche and talking with the developers, or going to Disney and meeting them and having them, say things like, I remember we went to Avalanche and we would go department by department, meeting with the teams and them giving a little pitch of like, here's how we made Spider-Man, the control scheme work and other stuff. And I remember one, he was like, thanks for coming by my booth, everybody. Let them know Darkwing Duck 4.0, we want it to happen. So it's like, here's a dev telling the fans to tell Disney to make something happen. And so I was like, okay, that's someone who really, really cares about this and is very invested in each of these installments.
That would have been a cool world, by the way.
It would. So I miss it.
Yeah.
Those people haven't gone anywhere, but I missed that 3-year run. That was fun.
I know next to nothing about Disney Infinity, and I miss this. I wish that this existed. That sounds...
Can people still play it? Or
You can still play it. You can't download stuff online. The servers are down. You can't play online with other people. But if you go over to your friend's house, they can still plug the game in and show you the stuff that they made.
What do we have to do? What do we have to do to make this exist again? What do we have to do?
I don't know.
I was lighting in a bottle. It'll come back.
I think so. It'll come back in a wholly different way.
Yeah.
You just reminded me of another quick one. Is I played a lot of Myst Online, and that had a very supportive community. And one time I was, again, Zen stories, but my favorite Zen book is called Zen Flesh, Zen Bones. It's just a bunch of stories.
Ooh.
Just little parables. It's beautiful. It's a wonderful book.
All right.
Jones is in. Wow.
I'll be digging that
But
one
we
out.
were all just, there was a part where there were like 20 or 30 people. We were in the hub area, and we were all just sitting there, and I was just telling these Zen stories to like a bunch of like people.
on a headset?
I was typing. A lot of
Okay.
other people had voice stuff. But I was typing. And it was crazy because like they would just sit and listen, like read them as I typed them out.
You know
and
what's
people
amazing
loved it.
about this is that is such a cool story.
Yeah.
But if I read somewhere online that like dude is reading out of this Zen book and Myst Online, I'd be like, yeah, all right.
Yeah, I hear you.
That,
You'd
like,
be
that
like,
makes-
pass, I'm good.
No. I mean,
get what you're saying.
no, that kind of lines
makes
up.
sense.
That
Oh,
makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah.
Yeah,
That seems like something that
it
people
seems
who play
something
Myst
they
Online would get
do.
into. Yeah.
And that's great.
Yeah.
Like, I would want to be a part
Oh,
of it.
no, yeah.
But it's just,
And I
it's
mean,
just
like,
kind of
you
funny.
got the impression that there were like people of all different age ranges and stuff. It was pretty
Right.
crazy. Yeah.
Man,
It was a beautiful game.
it seems like an early online community in the sense where it was pretty much just good.
Yeah.
Like you just got like maybe it got a little strange at points, but it was always like a good kind of fun, quirky, strange.
I referred to myself as a noob at one point in Myst Online, and someone said, "Oh, we don't like to use terms like noob that might hurt someone's feelings." And I was just like, "All right, okay." I was referring to myself, but okay.
Yeah, that's
and that
really
would
fun.
never happen.
It's so
In
funny.
any other
It was
game.
so
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, we don't like noob around here. That's cool.
It's funny. Man, that game, you can still kind of get it. The servers are like wonky. They don't take new accounts.
They don't take noobs anymore.
They don't take noobs. No noobs. Now they're
it's become very
against
toxic.
Yeah, it's very toxic. They're like, no noobs. We hate noobs.
Your poetry better be good, or we will ban you.
Yeah. How many Zen stories do you know? Tell me a koan I don't know already. Noob.
Real quick for me, I think Mario Maker in a weird way.
yeah.
I was coming in very cynically to that game. I hated the game, and I was ready to just hate it. Played it and just truly enjoyed creating levels, and the idea of people playing my levels was really crazy to me. And I really, really enjoyed that. I realized a lot of that's going to disappear with Miiverse. Yeah. Like, so much of the feedback you got back was Miiverse posts.
And that was cool.
That was very cool. And so, yeah, that'll be missing. Yeah, I hope there's a new Mario Maker. I'd love to do that again.
I want one on the Switch so much.
I think that was a very well-designed game. And
Yeah.
I
love that game.
Well
it
said.
always felt good. It felt good to pour hours into that game.
Yeah.
Because what you got back was so rewarding. And so, yeah, I really liked that. It is time for bets. We have to do an update on a bet that we solved last week, or whatever, ran through, in which we did the Marvel bet about how long until we die. We goofed two things up. You can pick a random character if you press the square button. Yep, Ben knew that. And also, I was holding right on the right analog stick while there was a loading screen. And so that is why it didn't register that I was holding right when the actual match started. So our character could have been blocking
Like
more.
an N64?
Yeah, I guess like that, but I don't know.
Whoa.
I think maybe it just doesn't like you doing it while it loads. However, Ian had the high bet already, and you won with the high bet, so we're not going to...
I think 4 or 5 seconds in
Yeah.
either direction still
Nice.
would have come with an Ian win. So.
Right. So yeah, we're not going to redo the bet. Ian, you got that win. That's yours.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's talk about next week's bet. Let's see if you can do it again. Middle-earth: Shadow of War will be released on October 10th. Hold on a sec. Let me time out for a second. I was trying to think of a bet for Middle-earth, and I looked up to Don. Shouldn't have done this. And I said, Don, can you help me come up with a bet? And we got a Don bet, baby.
Do we ever?
What number will we get if we add the total minutes of the Lord of the Rings trilogy and the Hobbit trilogy,
Theatrical versions.
theatrical releases, yes,
Total runtime minutes.
yes, and divide it by the game's top rank on Amazon's best sellers list?
Shadow of War's rank
Yep.
on the Amazon bestsellers list.
The top selling version of
Right.
Shadow of War.
So if it's
Right.
like first, it'll
Yeah.
be divided by 1. If it's
Yeah.
8th, it'll be divided by 8.
Yes.
I can use my bet as an example, say.
Okay,
Just to
so
explain it.
Jones, what is your number for
So the
this
way I
bet?
did the math,
Yep.
150 per movie.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
Add it all up to 900. It's rank number 9, so you're coming in at 100 is my number. 900 divided by 9 is
Yeah.
100, how I got that.
Ian, your bet.
I went through the same logic for runtimes.
Yeah.
I was like, they're not 3 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, not all of them, especially with these Hobbit movies.
Median,
Yeah.
9, I was thinking 150.
Yeah.
But I think that there's not a lot coming out next week. So I'm hoping it's at number 1, and I aimed a little low just so I'd have it. So it's at 894.
894. Ben, your bet, please.
I gotta say I'm flying in the dark here.
Yeah.
And this is a bad bet. 620.
620.
There's no bad bets.
Yeah, I
No
think that's a
bad
good bet.
bets.
There's just right or wrong.
Just
I
wrong
went, I went super low like Jones. I went with 88, crazy
Okay.
88.
Okay.
I
Whoa.
think that I don't know. There's just gonna. It's like, you know how like number 1 and number 2 are always like PSN cards.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was counting because I originally was like I threw away my original bet. I was I don't know. I think
I
Ben's
have
got
no
one.
idea.
That's a good
This
bet.
is a weird one.
Let me see what we all know that Don won this already. Ooh, is that a 98
The
or
Hobbit
an
is my
86?
favorite comparing game.
Oh, no.
What do we think here?
Did he
I
do
think
that
that's
in
an
I
86.
think it's an 86.
I think
I
it's
think
an
that's an
86.
86. This
yeah.
thing has horns.
That's
Yeah, I
crazy.
think it's an 86.
He got an 86 and I did 88. Dang, Don.
What if it's? I hope it's 87
Let
somehow.
me lock that in. Cool.
So someone's gonna have to do all that math.
It shouldn't be too hard.
Add all those up.
We'll do the
Yeah.
minutes
No,
ahead
you
of
look
time,
on
and then we'll-
IMDb.
yeah,
Yeah,
it won't
you
be
just
too
divide
hard.
it.
Last week's bet
Well,
was about
Kyle would look on IMDb and add it up.
Cuphead.
Right.
Yeah, we can do it. Cuphead came out last Friday on September 29th. I went to opencritic.com, looked at the 10 most recent reviews. How many times did I see the word finally? Jones, you bet 15.
I love
Bloodworth
this
bet 8. Huber bet 21. I bet 5. Don bet 10. He said blackjack, baby.
I was gonna say 8 for this.
Okay, Ben, you have a guess? I feel like you just saw what was beneath my thumb.
No, I don't.
Oh,
I don't.
okay.
I have no idea.
Okay. The actual number of instances of finally in 10 reviews for Cuphead on opencritic.com is 6. Oh. No, it's a win for me, Jones.
I know. I'm surprised. I'm just surprised. I think when we do the word stuff, I think that's when our brains can actually get us closer.
Yes,
you know, like
you're right,
in
you're
this
right.
with who
This is
knows with this
shenanigans.
craziness.
Yeah, this is
shenanigans.
just
You know?
bonkers. Yeah.
If it's how many
Out of
tweets
control.
or how
Yeah.
where something's going
Right.
to pop up on Amazon, who knows
Yeah.
what weird peripherals
Right.
coming out that week. There's so many variables for a lot of this stuff, but whenever it's the word count, it's like, wait a minute, I can
do
actually
this.
think about this
Yeah.
one. And so I was just, I'm
did you say?
always happy for you. 15. I thought
Yeah.
definitely more than 10. There are some people that wrote a review for that and did not use the word finally once. And
Yeah,
that's fascinating.
many of them
Crazy.
actually, yeah. Yeah, and actually some of those that did use the word finally, it wasn't like the game is finally out.
Yeah.
It was, when you finally get to that boss.
Yeah,
it was-
yeah.
Cool. That brings the total score to Purple Platypi 18. I know it's been a long podcast.
We practiced before.
We did. We
And
had
it was so good.
We had
It
a
was very good.
This is not a joke. We actually practiced.
like,
It was like
That's good.
That's good.
That's really good.
I'm letting him down.
Put a layer on that.
You only get one shot.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, fine. That
It's
was
been a
it.
long project.
Do not miss your
I'll
chance.
share the layer that
It's a
you're-
platypi.
Red Eagles 22.
Caw.
Easy street.
Easy.
It's ridiculous.
What was it? Free damage zone was? I can't remember.
Free damage time.
Free Damage City.
Free damage city.
There's no such thing.
Free hit city?
Population 0.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk for a second about Easy Allies, though. Let's be promotional for a moment. Easy Allies is a group of conspiracy theorists in search of the heffalumps. We make videos about video games. We do podcasts like this, but we do reviews that are serious, and we do previews that are serious. We do things that aren't serious. We play Dungeons and Dragons. We make informational videos on changing how we made this studio look. That's a really fun.
Highly
video.
informational.
Yeah, highly
You
informational.
watch that one?
Yeah. It's a good, easy update. Yeah. Hold on, that's not what I'm promoting though.
Ah, yeah.
I can promote any video I want.
Hey,
That's
wait a
not
minute.
it.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Huh.
I won a bet too.
That's not how that works.
Does just nothing happen there?
Somebody last week got to promote a video because you won that bet.
But you didn't know that I'd won that bet.
What? We
Huh?
did. We did.
Oh,
we
okay.
did it wrong last week,
Oh,
but
okay.
I'm
You were
saying
just
we're
correcting
yeah,
that.
yeah,
it-
yeah,
oh,
yeah,
I see.
yeah,
I see. Never mind.
But check out patreon.com/easyallies to see how we work and how you can maybe help us work, basically.
New rewards.
Sorry?
New rewards.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
on
yeah.
that Patreon.
You know what? I feel weird, though, because they're not huge new rewards. They're
Yeah.
little new rewards.
Yeah.
But they're interesting.
$2 and $10 tier changed. Go check them out.
Yeah.
If you're curious.
Well,
More
let's,
power.
we changed
let's see what they are, actually, because they're kind of interesting. $2 is now our...
Group Stream Selection Committee.
Yes, the Group Stream Selection Committee. It's been taken out of my hands, selecting which games that we'll be voting for on the group stream, and put in the hands of our $2 patrons, $2 and up, obviously. And so, that'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see. I think it could be PUBG every week. We could.
I'm not opposed. It will be now.
Yes, it
We'll have to get 9 computers in here.
It could absolutely be that, and we're at the whim of our patrons, and we'll see. We'll see if that's good. Obviously, we're flexible, but
Whoa, what if they pick games that we just can't get,
so I thought about that.
don't have?
We'll just
You can always get a game.
We'll just put it up the week after. I'm gonna say if that game wins, I will commit to procuring this game this week, and then we'll put it up absolutely next week. And so that'll be cool. That'll create the new pool, and then we'll obviously still have our polls for the $1 tiers, but it's created by our community. And then I guess that leads well into, you want to explain the $10 one?
$10 tier used to be a reward tier, used
Yeah.
to be community comments, and is going to be a slightly different show now called the Community Showcase. The difference being it will not be a pre-produced show. The idea behind community comments was I do voiceover for all this stuff that we do.
Yeah.
I wanted to offer that as a gift to the as a reward to the allies that sponsored at $10 or above, that they could hear their words read by me in a fashion typical of us doing reviews or other features. Proved way too difficult for us to produce on a monthly basis.
Also, the $10 tier much more popular than we expected.
Yes. Patreon.com/easyallies in general, much more popular than we expected. And so we want to be a little more realistic about that. It is not a pre-produced show. It is now going to be a stream. It is going to be between myself and one other ally at the end of every month, where we're going to go through not only comments from our allies on Patreon that are donated wonderfully at that tier, but possibly music or art or photographs or
A video.
or any use your imagination and to change it up every month, and then we'll go through those at the end of every month on a stream and showcase the wonderful talent of our community,
Which is a very
knows no
talented
bounds.
community.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
really incredible. So.
Extremely, yeah.
So looking forward, and again, like you were saying, both of these will evolve. As we go week by week, month by month. We want them to be rewarding for the people that are giving us that money. So we'll change them according to people's feedback.
Yeah.
Looking forward to getting it.
Cool. So yeah, check out patreon.com/easyallies. Ben, how'd you do with your goal this week? Oh wait, we should all guess. We won't know if you accomplished your goal or not.
That's what I was
I'm
going
still
to say. So
going
we gotta
Okay.
go one at a time. So Brandon, what is my favorite animal?
Lion. That's my bet still.
Ian?
Fox?
I think around minute 38 you said ferret, and I'm positive that's your favorite animal.
Penguin, baby.
When did you say penguin?
When we were talking about what is it, Tokitori?
Yep.
I met he
Oh, this
waddles
weird
like a
little
penguin.
Oh my goodness.
Wow, that's sneaky.
That is a great one.
That's very sneaky.
We-
Ben.
He has
you
a
know,
way with
the
words.
story was gonna come up.
He's got a way with words.
No. I didn't know Tokitori was going to come up. I will say, in your defense, I said that while multiple people were talking, so maybe it was a little difficult to hear.
Hey man,
No,
that's
that's
how you
us
play
for
the
not
game.
listening. Yeah,
that's how you play the game.
If you got the
my-
opportunity.
Well
my favorite
done.
animal is the penguin.
Yeah.
You had a penguin in your presentation, didn't you?
Yeah,
no,
little penguin.
Did I?
Little
I think that was.
penguin, or that might have been done.
I think that was.
The northernmost penguins.
I think it was Huber.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
whatever.
Wow.
All those presentations were fantastic.
We've shot a lot of things today.
Today's been long.
Been a long day. Ian, what was your goal?
Not to fold this during the show, and I succeeded.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I didn't. I moved
so that was pre-show.
No.
Okay, so
Yeah,
hold
yeah,
on.
I folded it. It was folded up like this
Yeah.
before the.
I
Okay,
want to
episode.
see you fold it one more time.
And I said I wouldn't
Prove
fold
to me
it
that
again.
you actually could have folded
Sure.
it.
Yeah. You just.
There it is.
We can count it.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I do during this episode.
You do
usually
this kind
is
of
I
thing
just,
where
like,
it's like you squish it.
I like fold it constantly.
was very
yeah.
fidgety.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just as like a thing to do with my hands. So like I definitely like. And no, that doesn't count. He told me to do it.
Yeah. Should I put like fidget cubes on the desk?
I
make
am
noise.
such a fidgeter, man. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
need
Don't,
something.
Don't. No.
That'd
They
be
make
fun
noise.
if each of us have a little fidget
The
cube.
whole
that we're
episode's just like.
what I think about Red Dead Redemption 2. Yeah.
The system's
constant
enchant
clicking.
me.
Fidget
Jones,
spinners.
how did you do? You have a headache right now?
No, I did it.
You got rid of your headache.
I did.
How deep into the
feel good.
podcast did it? How long did it take for you to be rid of yourself of that?
About halfway through.
Okay.
Nice.
Before it was totally gone.
Yeah.
I've got one now.
I got it straight.
Oh, that's where it went. I pass it on.
I got the
Enjoy.
difference
I don't
between
really.
Jim Carrey and Drew Carey. We did it.
Say it
Yeah,
one
yeah,
more
we
time.
did.
So Jim Carrey is all righty then.
Yeah.
And Drew Carey is Mimi, I'm mad at you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the show where the points are meaningless
Yeah.
in Cleveland.
So yeah, we got it. I got
Mimi.
I finally got it make it straightened out.
I'm mad at you. I don't know.
Got him.
This world is too weird.
It's too weird.
This world is too weird.
Like
What's
the
happening? You're
our
having a mental
world
breakdown.
reality.
It's just, you have a great vacation. You go to a place where it's just nothing is like this.
Yeah.
Nothing is like this.
Outer space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're back on terrestrial ground and it's making you crazy.
So, because I won the bet, I get the right and responsibility to share my Twitter handle with the world. I get to promote any Easy Eyes video I'd like to promote. I get the final word on anything I've disagreed with or simply want to reiterate. And I get to sign off with my trademark sign off. So, my Twitter handle is @KyleBossman. I've not tweeted in a while. I'm backed up. All right, here's my promise to you. I will tweet something within the next 7 days.
Photos from the trip, maybe?
No.
Not one? Not even one?
I don't know. Yeah, Jones, it's weird. I'm a kind of personal person. But you're right. I like Twitter's about that. Twitter's about tweeting.
Facebook's
pics.
about that.
No, Twitter is too.
Twitter's professional. Facebook is personal.
Twitter's not professional anymore.
Not
I
anymore.
don't
Not
know
anymore.
what. I
Yeah.
honestly don't know what Twitter
Twitter's
is
just a
anymore.
nightmare.
I legitimately came home and thought about like I should stop Twitter.
I've thought that.
But the thing is, like, Twitter is essential in like communicating with our audience. It's
Right,
both ways.
yeah.
It's really both
But
ways.
what
It's tricky.
are we living in that dystopian future where we go? We should probably get rid of this thing, but we can't. Like that's a sign,
That's,
right?
we're in that episode of Black Mirror, yeah.
All right, so enjoy it now while you can. I might quit Twitter.
So follow Kyle Bossman for no reason.
The video I would like to promote is shoot. It's something that Bloodworth doesn't want you to see. Earlier tonight on our live stream, we had a bunch of PowerPoint presentations. Bloodworth thought this was unsuitable to put on YouTube. And so what you're going to have to do to see these PowerPoint presentations is you'll have to go to twitch.tv/easyallies and look at our archive for a group stream that happened on October 3rd. Because what happened was Ben Moore put up a PowerPoint presentation, his top 6 favorite things about the Galapagos. Michael Damiani did a PowerPoint presentation on the same subject, and so did Michael Huber, and they put effort into these.
Yeah.
They got up and stood in front of us like we did in high school and just gave us a presentation on the Galapagos Islands. It is insane. It is so bizarre.
They're wonderful.
Ian then grades them as a teacher would.
Yeah.
Again, not phoning it in, actually like taking care into the grades, into the scoring. It's such a fun, weird thing.
I loved it.
Yeah. We can't put it on YouTube, I guess, because of rights, but it exists. That video exists
Because
somewhere.
Damiani used a clip from
BBC.
Planet
You know what?
Earth 2.
He shouldn't have done that, but it was also very entertaining.
It was a wonderful clip. Yeah.
Yeah.
Planet Earth 2 is good
Can
stuff.
we do a new series of videos called "The Stuff Bloodworth Didn't Want You to See"?
The blood tapes.
Yeah, the blood tapes. Yeah.
Welcome to
lost
the Blood
files.
Tapes.
The Easy Allies.
We do it like forensic files. Yeah. Bloodworth doesn't want you to see this stolen footage from BBC's Planet Earth 2.
And there's like a little like thumbnail of blood in the corner the whole time, like just like seething.
Or we pull like a Straw Dogs and we get Blood to go do something else. Like we trick him to like into like going to the mall to like pick up copies of Evil Within 2, and we like have a camera crew with him, and like we cut to him like not knowing.
Every time we were like showing Ninja Turtles 2, the movie, and we're like reacting to it.
We're just like straight
Yeah. And then it cuts to Blood like, oh yeah, can I have two of those?
So look out for that maybe in the future. Final word. I'll go to the final word. Reiterate that comment. Just it has been a bad week. It's been a bad week, bad month, bad year. Yeah, there's bad stuff. But yeah, always it helps to look for positivity. I realize you can't always be positive, and you shouldn't always be positive, but it helps to look for sure. And my trademark sign off. Tomorrow is forever all ours.
I am enjoying these microtransactions.